And finals of BroLeague season. I just hiccup, sorry. I just wolfed down dinner. Season 4.
Amazing start.
I know, amazing start. Can't you tell the production value is just so high here at BroLeague?
Oh, it's great.
Oh, it's so good. I am
So glad to be
Paladin.
here.
I will be casting and observing. And with me today we have God of Defeat, Say hello.
Hello, it is me, the one and only God of Defeat, here to bless all of you with a loss streak tonight
Nice, nice,
and all
nice.
of your games.
Anyway, here we have the grand finals, and it's a match between Super Soakers, who came in through the play-in. They were the 4th seed. They would not have been here if it wasn't for the play-in. They've proven their mettle, as it were. And then Muted, the 1st seed of their division. So this is kind of an insane matchup when you really think about it.
Yeah, this is gonna be kind of wild. Do you have any hot takes as to who you think is gonna take it?
I mean, I think the person who loves underdogs in me hopes that Super Soakers wins. I mean, just I don't know. Like at some point you feel like their Cinderella run would end, but then again, that's what makes a Cinderella run so amazing is sometimes it never does.
I completely agree. I think that either way, we're in for a amazing match, and I think it's going to be close. At least I'm hoping it's going to be close. Maybe we get to see the Cinderella run. Otherwise, we get to see the domination of Muted, and I'm happy for either one. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've also got some other storylines too on Super Soakers. Obviously, we have Midnight, Dynasty, Salt, Jay, and Toxic. Midnight is looking for her second Bro League Championship trophy. She was the Season 2 champion. Meanwhile, I believe Jay actually might have been 2. I don't know off the top of my head, though. Toxic, meanwhile, was the runner up in Season 3, so he's looking for his first trophy. And on the other side, on Muted, we have Falam, Boppo, Dilly, Rock and Roll, and Extreme. Rock and Roll also the runner up last season, looking for his. So we're gonna have a runner up from last season finally get their trophy, basically. Actually,
Right,
this
right.
is this is Rock and Roll's third time in the finals. He was in the finals season 2, season 3, and now season 4. So
Oh
if
wow,
you
that
wanna
it is deserved at this point.
if you wanna make the finals, get Rock on your team, I suppose.
Apparently.
All right, so the maps. I'm a little disappointed in map 1. I really wish there was some more spice. We're gonna go to Oregon map 1. That is Super Soaker's pick. Then we have Skyscraper map 2, which is Muted's pick, and if necessary, we will be going to Cafe Dostoyevsky as our third pick. I just want to make sure real quick before I go start because I would like to get this started because we are running a little late. Twitch, everything looks good on Twitch.
Yes, I am watching the Twitch stream right now. It looks good. I am seeing the teams currently. As for Super Soakers, we have, I believe actually you already said the names, but Midnight Fire, Dynasty, Salt, J, and Toxic, all here in the lobby ready to go with us.
Yes, we have everyone here ready and with us. So, without further ado, we can just go ahead and get started. And that's what I would like us to do. This is it. This is for all the marbles. Grand finals. I really hope this is set up correctly. I will be made fun of if
I mean, well, would it even be a BroLeague stream without some technical difficulties?
God, it wouldn't. I hate that that's our thing. But
Right.
we start
If
on.
there isn't at least like a 15-minute lag somewhere in the map, then it's not a BroLeague stream. That's how you know it's us.
All right, we are on Central servers. I know a lot of people wish we would swap Discuss, but I think Central has actually been getting better lately. I don't know.
I'm a Scuzz fan. I'm from Scuzz, so yeah, I'm a little biased.
We're all from Discuss.
So we're starting off with the Doki ban. For Oregon, big map, a lot to clear. It makes perfect sense. Doki can clear out a lot of stuff really fast because you can hear the phones. I'm also expecting probably either a Nomad ban or a Flores ban, possibly Osa. Something to help, get elbow or flank watch.
I would probably say play Flores. Really, a
Ooh, a
Jackal?
Jackal. So they're doubling down on roam clear, which means that most likely both sides are expecting to do a lot of roaming. Otherwise, it's just comfort picks. Make sure that no one gets trolled and smoked out.
Yeah, I mean, it's so the only roam clear really will be Lion. The only other rest are flank watches and Nomad.
Yeah, I don't even think Lion would really count, because if you're not mixing him with a Jackal or a Doki, it's not a whole lot worth. Because they're yeah. But anyway, as for our other defensive ban, I'm expecting a Cade most likely. Possibly a Valkyrie. Both are very strong, especially on this map.
I was thinking more Azami.
Azami, ooh, that is
Oh,
true.
Fenrir.
Okay, classic Fenrir.
There's so many good defenders at this point. It's really kind of
so many good defenders.
But don't worry, guys. Ubisoft's going to fix that by releasing Ram, who potentially might be the most broken operator we've got in a while.
I'm seeing on the stream that it is showing the top corner left of your screen and not the whole screen. I believe that is a...
It's not showing the whole screen?
Yeah, so it's showing Super Soakers, like the name, and then like basically the top fourth left of your screen.
Let me see real quick. Oh, you are right. I think I know what the issue is.
Okay.
Sorry. Display. I think it's because I have my upset.
Also, people in chat, don't forget, put in your predictions. You only have a little bit of time to be able to put it in. We have 83,000 for one team, and I believe it was 70-something thousand, 179,000 for the. Oh my god! So there is quite a bit of points on the line. Someone's going big. Someone's making a lot of money off this.
Fingers crossed that fixed it. We won't know for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. I will let you know. I'm also keeping an eye on chat. So everyone, say hello. Feel free to emote, pog out, whatever you're feeling, and I'll be watching.
Right, hopefully that fixed. We won't know. Worst case scenario, we lose this round, and I'll pause at the end of it and see if I can't get it sorted out. But right now we do have the Super Soaker starting on attack. We have Toxic playing the Maverick. It looks like a pretty standard attack. Dynasty playing that Yana. We have Jay on the Ace, Salt on the Nomad, and Midnight on the Ash. Dilly, meanwhile, playing the Valk, Rock on the Solus, Extreme on the Cade. Boppo downs the Ace already, but can't confirm
He's not going to be able to confirm it, but it is a big pick. He might be able to get 2 with a C4. Just a little too far away. That's unfortunate. A lot of damage done to the Ace. That's going to make him very vulnerable, especially when he's up on that master balcony trying to get a closet. Anything that comes flying out the window and impact a C4, very high likelihood that he dies off of this. You can tell that they're doing a very classic split, attic and master trophy. So we have Toxic on the Maverick. I'm assuming that he's going to have someone rotate over, help him with those footholds, help him hold his flank while he's working his way through tower, and then everyone else is going to be working through trophy side.
Alright. Okay, good. I can see it on the stream already.
Yep, I just saw it as well.
Yep. Alright, perfect. Alright, so no one actually misses any of the action. It does look like we're seeing very aggressive defense so far from Muted. We're already at a minute 40 and no real ground has been taken. Speaking of no real ground, by the way, do we see who's still in the armor? Oh,
we do. Oh! Almost wins that fight. He's about to get swung from top main, though. Loses the fight to Dynasty as he was looking in the wrong direction and fully pinched out. That's Chad down. That's their top frag and most consistent player. So that is a huge pick for the attack. They did trade out a lot of health, though. Ash is low, as well as Jay. They do have attic control for the most part, as the Maverick is walking his way in, as you can see now. And we are not stalling out in the mid-round, but a lot is about to happen.
I mean, right now, we are down to a minute, but so far, Soakers have a decent amount of control. They did just miss that Solus on that drone, though. I don't think they're aware of them down there. Billy has returned back to sight from his position underneath. It looks like it's going to be a 3-man hold on site with a Solus playing underneath.
I am really hoping that one of these trophy players jumps down to watch Mandor as they go for plant, because that Solus is going to be a huge thorn on their side if they're trying to get plant down. A lot of damage done. A C4 ripped, and it takes out Yana as Dilly picks up Dynasty. Jay trading shots on the Bappo, and everything's happening, bringing it down to a 4v2 in attacker's favor. We have Ash going for plant, and it looks like on default, and Solus is going to try and be able to deny, should be able to. That is a 1v3 They have time to be able to get this plant down. They just have to play the little like waiting game. No one's watching the top white stairs, and this may be an easy denial, but no, Salt takes out Rock, and with that, attackers win, giving the first round to Super Soakers.
Yep. I mean, the Toxic Special just walks right into sight from Attic and kills 2 people. Gotta watch those doors. Once you lose control of Attic, you can't just fall back and not hold Attic anymore. You have to make sure someone is watching that drop down, and they don't. Toxic walks right in, picks up a kill, picks up another. Rock at the very end there, I don't think fully realizes that he has an angle from white stairs to deny that plant a second time, and then it gets really dicey. But Salt holds the proper angle on
especially with like 3 seconds left. Yep. Yeah, no, I think that the attack messed up because they didn't drop someone down to prevent the vertical play to deny plant, but defense messed up more by just kind of falling off the attic presence, as you were talking about, and allowing the attackers to get like full coverage. At that point, defenders are kind of trapped, and they have to push into crossfires.
Yep. All right, chicken nuggets are done. All right.
Very nice.
All right. Same attack. Looks like same defense, same attacking lineup.
We are missing the Frost. Yeah, we're missing the Frost, as well as the Soulless has changed. It looks like to a Thorn. It looks like just a lot of comfort pick operators. I'm not seeing exactly a new strategy coming out at all, except for more traps, I guess, to slow down the push. But overall, it's fairly negligible.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate the Legion, and the reason is because that Legion wants the sound cue of his goo mine on those main stairs. Waiting to hear this. Oh, they're so close and they didn't realize it.
Flom might be able to run out bottom small tower here. If he can impact this door, probably get a free pick on that ace, but no, he's going to decide to fall back, play it safe, and go back up to the roof. It looks like they're doing the same kind of take. Toxic on the Maverick, playing an Attic. He's going to get someone else to come in and support him as soon as, they're off drone and running in from spawn, and they should be pretty soon to opening up the Attic wall. Starting off very similar.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just beat for beat the exact same kind of attack as it was last time. Salt and Coyote working on this wall in Attic. Midnight pushing underneath right now, doing a bit of hunting down.
We also saw the Yana was nading from below, so they should be getting master wall here soon. But I'm noticing that they naded before they droned it or even opened up the door.
Yep, it's unfortunate because I think they whiffed that nade, and it's a Cave Claw, so you have to be perfect with that nade, and there's still a chance you can even get it.
Because they're down 1 nade, so they still have a chance to redeem this, but it definitely hurts them for sure.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he recognizes that it's a Cave Claw, so they're just going to go the long way, but Dilly picks up a beautiful C4. How did he long-arm that? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, where was that from? Oh, that was up through the hatch? That's crazy.
Beautiful. Extreme, though, does get downed by the second Yana nade. They don't really have a way of confirming this kill, though.
I mean, they have the Ash Chargers, but yeah.
They've just now gotten that wall. That's big, big, big. Finally able to get that wall open. A minute left, and a lot of their attic pressure, though. It's all going to come down to Salt now. And there goes that attic pressure right there.
Still playing sandbags below. It doesn't look like the call's been given out because they haven't. Okay, now they're turning back to watch meeting. There's going to be a fight here, but he's looking the wrong direction. Valkyrie wins that fight, and as defense moves to a 5v2, is definitely looking better on the muted side.
Yeah, Dilly with a 3K to bring his team this round. It is Oregon, it is defender-sided, so you want to make sure you're running up the score as much as possible on these defenses. And right now, he had already lost their first one, they can afford to lose another, as Falam managed to take out Midnight, and now it's down to a 5v1 as Falam.
Oh, what the pre-fire!
Just does a strafing run there, gets intel, the yellow ping. Beautiful shots all around. Dilly and Falam. We just talked about Toxic, the MVP of Super Soakers, won them the last round. Dilly and Falam just won them that one, so it looks like we've already got some stars clashing.
Completely agree, yeah. The hatch being open in attic almost always means that there's someone playing below and meeting. They should have rotated a drone down there or had the people that were trying to nade below cleared out, but they didn't. They pushed up a little too early and got punished for it. Honestly, fairly understandable mistakes, but I think you shouldn't take attic control until we've cleared below, as well as the wall is opening in closet, and that way, you know, it's safe to start walking up, and you can't have people that are hanging out in pit door.
Yeah. To me, that just kind of showed a lack of droning, because there's no way you drone attic, see that hatch is open, and just think that you can just push in.
Completely agree. Yeah, that should be their first sign. That it's like, oh, we gotta rotate drones down. We are moving down to a basement defense now. We have the smoke. I assume it's going to be playing an elbow with the support of the Jaeger ADSs. That's an odd ADS, kind of blocking mid hall. So interesting. But
hate the ADS. I love these observation blockers in those positions so much, because now like that drone has to go so far just to hit anything. We do see some slight changes.
It really does.
Of the attack. Midnight is taking over, going off the Ash and giving that over to Toxic instead. Has moved on to the Havana. Dynasty has moved on to the IQ, I'm sure, to just do some hunting, but there's not a Valk on the board this time.
That's very true. Actually, as far as electronics go, basically the only thing that IQ is going to be able to detect is Warden's glasses or Cade's claws. ADS aren't going to be in a place that can be shot, but that's a very nice shot from Rock as he takes out Toxic with the headshot.
That is a hell of an opening engagement, and yeah, I mean, there's sometimes when you're playing Siege that all you can do is say nice shot and move on. Like,
right.
A nice shot.
This is just the case of Muted kind of taking advantage of the fact that Super Soakers isn't droning properly right now. They didn't drone up their shower before Ash took it, and last round they also didn't drone out meeting room before trying to take attic. And so they're able to get these really nice picks, and unless Super Soakers can recognize that and adjust, it's probably going to keep happening here for the next couple of rounds while they're on defense.
And now you get that opening pick, especially on Oregon basement defense, Unless you really mess up, there's no reason you should be using this. It does look like they're going to work to take freezer control. It's kind of all they can do. They've lost the Ash. They can still get the hatches open thanks to the Thatcher, but that's a lot of soft destruction gun. And actually, now that I look at it, that's their only way to get rid of this shield. They have no other ranged destruction.
That they don't even have flash. Oh, they have flashbangs on Nomad. Yeah, that's not going to be great because it's a Warden playing over there, so those flashbangs aren't even going to do you any good.
They didn't bring hopefully they didn't bring Zofia. Personally, I'm going to be honest, hot take, I think Zofia is better than Ash right now, just because of how much more util you have with her.
If she wasn't a 1-speed, I would agree with you.
Yeah, 1-speed. That just means more health to take bullets in. I just need to take this engagement with Boppo and does quite a bit of damage to the guy. Oh,
that C4 messed up. Trying to hit the pre-fire on the headshot, but nope, no takers as they're refusing to peek him. At least wide swing out.
Yep, and I mean right now you're just going to be stuck funneling at this point. Jaeger can hold where he is. Boppo is going to be playing that position by the bomb chassis. With 30 seconds left, you just got to start swinging and start hoping you take some of these gunfights, and it looks like that's about what Soaker's going to do. Keep taking damage.
They're really hoping that one of the defenders swings out, gives them a pick, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. And as Dynasty walks up, picks up 2, this is now a winnable situation, but he's caught mid-reload as Solo swings out, takes him, and, oh, actually, sorry, it was the Warden. Warden takes 2. All down to a 3v1. He's prone in a corner, it's not going to work. And Muted takes the 3rd round.
Got a little stressful towards the end there.
It did.
Alright, but Muted managed to take that second defense, managed to recalibrate a little bit. And like I said, like I commented on that first round, they're playing a very aggressive defense, at least to start. Looking to take those early engagements, looking to get that advantage. And then, as we saw, they just fall back and they play very smart. Now, it almost ended up biting. Dynasty gets 2 kills there, and if he's not reloading, he might get a 3rd. He at least has a chance to.
Yeah,
Muted able to just stall long enough and win that round effectively.
So because of the reinforcement setup in closet, which personally I like that setup, but I know a lot of people like reinforcing the other wall, opening up the head holes so that they can help their freezer person and stop exactly the push that Dynasty got away with. And so because of that reinforcement setup, the person in freezer was stuck in the 1v1. Dynasty wins that one, turns around, shoots the guy in Chala, and at that point, like you said, if he wasn't reloading, it's a good chance he picks a third, and they have the cross that they need so that they can get plant down. The entire round could have swung the other direction just because someone isn't reloading, switches to a pistol, or the reinforcements were different. All of it changes the entire round.
Yeah. But if wishes were fishes. Instead, it's a muted second round win. What the heck does that saying even mean? I think it's like
not
if
sure.
wishes were fishes, we would all be fed or something. I don't know.
Something I am noticing is they put the shower rotate on the wrong wall. So with that shower rotate, fun and interesting fact, you can create the holes above in small tower, and it watches anyone that rotates into and out of showers. Whereas if you put it on the other side, you can't get that angle. And so you want to make the standing rotate closest to the shower door, or sorry, the shower hall door. That way you can like swing into and out of it.
I think my biggest thing, honestly, is the fact that we're seeing this as a dining. Because usually we see meeting kitchen. Stage kitchen, whichever one it's called, but instead we're seeing a dining kitchen.
At least for me personally, I think that dining is stronger if you have a coordinated team, and meeting is stronger if you have an aggressive team.
I would agree with that, and I don't know which one suits muted better, but we already see Bats are entering for them right now, already taking control of this top small tower. They understand that there's nothing really stopping them. They should be able to get this wall open for effectively free.
Yeah, hopefully with the breach charges that I believe... Oh, actually, they do not have breach charges on anyone. Do they have any soft breach? They have Ash. So with only 2 breaching rounds, hopefully they can create enough pressure on the vertical. That way they can stop this rotate that Cade just did, as well as get the Cade Claw. Ash looks like she's pushing up on the door, not going to be doing any vertical, just swinging, wins the fight anyway, and that is the extreme down.
That is a very, very risky play. It looks like they didn't go for the small tower play, you know, where you put the Thatcher, or you put the Thermite on the floor and it opens up the upper half of the wall. It is a little risky because it does make it multiple. As Salt, they really have a lot of control right now.
They really do. They're very close to being able to plant here. They just need to make sure they have shower hall control, which basically the person in shower is going to have that for them, assuming that, you know, they don't get walked by. And now they're going to start smoking. Most likely going to go for the execute here. I believe that smoke is a little too deep. No, actually, it looks right about right. The hatch is open, and so they're planning far back, trying to avoid the prone angle from there, and looks like they successfully do. There was no C4s that came over, and now they are in a 5v3 with plant down. This is very winnable for Super Soakers.
Not only is it very winnable, this should be a win.
This is a most likely, yeah.
Yeah, there's really no reason. Was there not a Maestro cam in there? I guess there wasn't a Maestro.
Wait,
no,
there was. No,
right
look,
there.
on the wall,
Why
and just no one
zap
got
the
on
planter?
cam. Interesting.
I mean, they knew the plant was going
Did you
down
see the
anyway.
thermite charge? You see the thermite charge? It's set up to kill the person that starts defusing. That's funny.
Will not get the chance. Toxic will be down. Salt picks up his 3rd on the round. Hit the 4th.
Oh, Salt going crazy with the 3K right there at the end.
Just a little bit. You really would. If someone was on the Maestro cam, because I believe Maestro, if they start shooting the moment the plant starts, would be able to down someone before they finish the plant.
Yeah, definitely. There's a small window that, like, as they're putting down the defuse, like, if you start shooting, you can down them. I think anything except for a 3 armor, because maybe they get the plant off right before they get downed.
But hey, we're tied 2-2
been a while.
right now. We're seeing some really strong attacks from Super Soakers. They took just the amount of territory they needed. That's it. Got the plant down, fell back to their positions, played that really, really well, and very, very patient.
I'm very pleasantly surprised by Super Soakers' attacks right now. As you pointed out earlier, this is a defensive-sided map, and as well as basically all maps are in BroLeague. And so we were expecting to see like Muted coming out strong, especially, you know, as the #1 seed, and seeing them like keep hold of that lead. But Super Soakers is surprising us, taking, you know, 2-2 right off the first 4 rounds. That's a really strong start, and if they're able to keep that into a 3-3, they've like definitively won their side of the half.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. So far, we've got a really good contribution from Salt, who's sitting at 5-2 on that Nomad. Meanwhile, we have Dilly sitting at 8-2, really kind of carrying the load for his team right now.
Dilly is sitting up in T3 with no ADSs or support. I assume he's just looking for drones. He's going to break his angles as he's falling and fall back out. Yep, that makes sense.
that's exactly what he ends up doing. I think all he wanted to do was show the Solus and tower, so now they're playing a little bit more hesitant. Because we saw them, they took control of tower very, very quickly. Now they're playing it a little bit slower.
He wanted to make sure there were no pre-places, and now he is going to be contesting them in T1, most likely just falling back and wasting a good 30 seconds of their time as they have to redrone.
And here's the tricky thing. Toxic cannot afford to die. He cannot afford to really entry this as much as the camp is still up.
That was funny.
Yeah, I don't think he realizes the camp. There we go.
But yeah, realistically, it should have been the Nomad that pushed in. She's far more expendable in this situation because Maverick can still, like, you know, get the wall even if he's more exposed by himself. But with just the Nomad, she would have to rotate to the other side of the map if Toxic dies.
If Dynasty is on this window, they know. It looks like they know that someone is in that corner. They're gonna throw that nade.
Ooh!
Out the window and end up getting taken. Just, I think, a little bit of panic there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, jumping out the window is not the plan in that situation. The Extreme trying to get the one tap with the Cade pistol, just missing the head of our Nomad Salt. And Dilly is still on this lurk. He has the potential, especially with able to shoot that air jab. Now they have to be worried about the flank, but it doesn't even look like they noticed it was gone.
No,
they're definitely aware.
And then we just see Toxic looks like he's left and he's gone over to the window instead. Do they think someone's playing tight up on the wall? Regardless, oh no, don't tell me. Did it glitch? Oh no, they have a multiple. Okay, good. It looked like it might have glitched. If I'm Super Soakers, I'm noticing the fact that they don't really have a white rotate, do they? And now Extreme is down by Toxic.
That's a really nice pick for them because that's their rotate player for kids, and Midnight picks up basically all of their utility on Pit. So all the defenders are kind of stuck in that like kids hobo area, and that's going to be very hard to contest. Not only the drop of Attic, but also
Dynasty
the people that are in Trophy as Dynasty picks up Dilly.
Yep, and now I mean you just walk into site at this point. There's really nothing to contest you. You know that they're all on site now. They've reinforced.
Yeah, Midnight's deep in there. You can't plant up on the foosball table, unfortunately. Jay's gonna go for a default plant. They do have a pre-placed C4 that
it will
from Pavo.
It will down Midnight. Extreme picks up one. Full up. Oh,
the TK!
They don't know where this plant is going down.
He's gotta do something. Look through the holes. No.
Papo inadvertently wins the round for Super Soakers by team killing Falam.
It was so close. From the 5v3, it went down to, if I'm not mistaken, a 4v2. And from there, 2 people lost, bringing it to a 2v2 because of that C4. Boppo kills his teammate, bringing it down to the 1v2. Otherwise, with like 5 seconds left, and he doesn't TK, he was looking through the holes, would have denied the plant, and most likely taken the round for Muted.
Chad looks through those holes, and he absolutely would have seen Coyote going to plant there if he just didn't get shot in the back.
Yeah,
it's rough.
That is unfortunate.
You gotta call a mental reset at that point, and I think you just go back to basement. You try to salve it. You cannot afford to lose this last defense. All the pressure right now is on Muted.
Yeah, if Muted goes into the second half on a 2-4 split, like, just mentally that's crushing. But realistically, it's also just makes your job 10 times harder, and I would wager that it's probably like an 80% chance of Super Soakers winning in that case.
I mean... And I think what's crazy right now is Toxic has had he's got 4 assists. He's getting into gunfights, but he's not getting a lot of kills. Right now we have Dynasty and Salt, who are the only 2 positive members of Super Soakers. And on the side of Muted, all we have is Chad, Falam, and Dilly, who are the only positives on them. We have players on both teams that need to step up, and I mean, we'll see when they do. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And for one team, it'll be too late by the time that the rest of their team picks up.
Definitely. I am hoping to see our Ash on Super Soakers as well as the Cade on Muted, like, go off, get some kills, you know, make this interesting and exciting. So hopefully we get to see a little bit of action on their parts.
I mean, right now we do see a thick girl sighting in Gridlock. don't think Gridlock is that bad, to be honest. Oh my goodness, what just made him... Oh, they don't have a cap yet. What the hell made him take so much damage?
I'm not sure.
They all have
I think
C4s
he
in
just
their pockets still.
got bullets sprayed at him from Z-Hall.
I think he
Yeah, it was Cade, one TCSG shot will do that.
Yeah, that had to be what it was, because I couldn't see anything else.
Yeah, Dilly's out here lurking, not gonna get seen by the Yana clone, and oh, actually no, they have a drone. Yeah, they're trying to pre-fire for it.
Catch him. He just doesn't realize that that drone is on him. They move the pinch. Sometimes you just get a little too tunnel vision. Oh, I just tapped out apparently. Give me 1 second.
I was about to say I lost eyes.
Yeah, no, we're good. Nothing technologically wrong. Dynasty does take a lot of damage. Toxic does have a lot of damage, but they have the man advantage right now. Rock's being hunted down. That's a sick
Rock,
night.
nice shot onto their Ashe that looked like she was just solo clearing 3rd floor. I wonder if they had any drones up there already that had spotted anyone.
I think the plan was to just hold him up there, but it eventually turned into just you lost the gunfight. They do look like they have a drone on him. They know where he is. He knows they know where he is. Will Dynasty go to clear? Will they just hold? They can't really afford to be wasting a player here.
I hope that Toxic either nades from below to get this guy out or pushes up to help clear with Dynasty. But right now, Jaeger's wasting a lot of time for them sitting up here in bunks. And like that's his entire job. He just wants to be here to use time and make them have to clear him. And he's doing a fantastic job of that.
Yeah, I mean right now. Yes, here we go. Finally the nades. All right.
Nading on the wrong side though. They have no info. Jaeger's actually going to rotate, try and take the fight on Dynasty. Dynasty wins it. And we're in a 4v3, but only 30 seconds left. That means the Super Soakers is going to have to move very quickly, try and take this fight. One's behind the washing machine, but he's just going to tuck in there and play it tight and close and wait. They're down to about 25 seconds, and those Goyo canisters are going off.
Seconds, and that will down Extremes. That's pushing down behind the laundry machine. Gridlock's going to start throwing stingers, but will miss the first couple. But will not miss her bullets as she takes down Falam, and now it's all down to Boppo. They know where Boppo is. They know he's stuck over on pillars. Dynasty and Toxic will just hold him pinned. This plant's going down. These are some amazing attacks, by the way, from the Super Soaker. My goodness.
Very well coordinated.
Very well coordinated. Now they know they just need to hold. And Dynasty will pick it up. Meanwhile, just some beautiful, beautiful attacks from Soakers. They are hitting their shots.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting a little worried when, you know, Ashe dies off rip, and then we are getting real close on time-wise. Like, yes, they have a decent amount of map control, but the time was just a huge concern there. But honestly, like, as soon as they got those picks, got the nade into the laundry guy deep, it was over. They collapsed on the site, did an excellent job hitting their shots, executing, and, you know, by the time that it was a 4v1, there was a 0% chance that the person in pillar could retake and stop that plant because it was so far away on the other side of the site, and they had him like pinned off by 3 different like players. It was just very well done. Props to Super Soakers.
Absolutely lethal attacks coming from them, and fully understandable timeout being called by Muted. They have to understand that they have to hit the ground running on their attacks, and I don't know if it's a communication issue. I don't know what it is. It does look like there's a light ping issue, but that shouldn't make too much. As we see 3 different Muted players currently having over 100 ping.
I don't think that would sway it as badly as we were seeing it. You know, one of those rounds obviously can just be written off to the TK. So I think that one should be given leniency on. It's the other 3 rounds that I think they were just getting outplayed. Like I don't necessarily. Obviously, I have to go back to the VOD. I don't necessarily see any major flaws in their strategy, other than maybe playing like a little too spread out. But other than that, it's them just getting outplayed, outpositioned, and pinched.
Yeah, I mean we're seeing some really, really, really strong attacks coming from Super Soakers, and Muted are sent reeling. Now, it's important to note this is not their map pick. This is Soakers' map pick. So even if they end up losing this round, or even if they end up losing this map, we still have a whole side. It's not the end of the world. We will still be going to Skyscraper no matter what. And you would think Muted would feel a lot more comfortable on their own turf, but I'm Soakers. I'm feeling really good right now. 4 attacks on Oregon. 3 of them were just absolutely lethal and clean. Very few mistakes. And I think that's the big thing. It's not like they're winning just because Muted is making misplays. they are making really strong plays, and they're just capitalizing on Muted's mistakes.
I would also like to point out that Twitch chat says, I think the casters are biased. I've only been hearing them cheer one way. When Muted starts popping off and we see them go hard, then we'll be cheering the other way too.
I mean, right
That's
now
about it.
It's pretty much all been Super Soakers. It's not that we're just calling the plays that are good, right? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
That isn't ideal. How does that even...
It's because he was running by at the time it was deploying, so it detected an object there.
Freaking physics in this game, man.
Either that, or it was just like on a weird corner of the bedsheet.
You have Toxic on his comfort pick in the Warden, looking to get heated up here on this defender side. Right now, it's Dynasty and Salt that have been carrying the load. Meanwhile, we have the Ying, and the Ying is going to hunt the Warden, it looks like, with the Maverick also down here. But it looks like...
Interesting.
Okay.
Oh, what a crazy shot from Falam.
Yep, Falam.
Taking out Toxic, who is just trying to contest Garage early. He doesn't know about this guy Z, though. Hopefully they just saw him on the drone. Dynasty's going to fall back up White Stairs. And at this point, defense is almost entirely bunkered on the side, if I'm not mistaken. And that gives the attack a minute and a half to set up and execute.
The entire defense
That's so much time.
Right now. They're going to get this. They're going to get attic control pretty easily right now. It doesn't look like they're even really contesting attic at this point outside and down here. But it's interesting because right now they have Boyo canisters still to work through. They have C4s. The amount of control now that Muted can assert on the map. And it all comes down to that opening pick. And then it's not just the opening pick, it's the fact that they don't feel comfortable holding afterwards. Jay puts this way is on. This on so stupid. I hate this Ami so much.
That's fair.
Oh, but Jay will be killed with a frag grenade from underneath, if I had to guess. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. And now you can pinch.
That was really nice on there. And
Dynasty does not pick up the kill, though. Swings to Palam, doesn't end up getting it. Then no one's on bomb chassis now. Oh, and those Candelas.
Now's the Ying execute. Got both defenders stacked up here in kids, forcing them into these disadvantageous fights. It is a 3v1 effectively as Bappo is down, most likely not going to be able to get picked up, but with the shotgun in Midnight's hands, she is probably the best operator to win this. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
They're just going to go for plant, though. It doesn't look like they're all too interested in going to clear her out, and this is just the right play. Pick up Bappo, give away her position, so now they do know where Midnight is.
Yeah, and they're going to hold from outside. Basically, at this point, it is all over, and Muted is going to get this round.
Yeah, very, very clean attack. I think what was really, really good about that attack is, once they killed Warden, they fully understood who they killed. So yeah. Like, hey guys, guess what? They don't have any...
I'm not sure.
I guess they thought the plant was over a big window?
No, because she saw the defuse when she walked by Foosball. So she knew where it was, and she's caught in a three-way cross. That is unfortunate.
Riddled with bullets the moment he got to the defuse.
That's actually an incredible post plant. Like, that positioning on the post plant, wild. Well done. But the attack, once they picked up Warden downstairs and they realized that they have bottom floor pressure, you notice that they took it, like, instant advantage of that with the droning and the nading from below. What cleared out the Azami in that very like powerful position close on breach with her Azami barricades was the nading from below and having the info to be able to do that, knowing that there's no one down there that's going to contest them. And so that level of coordination on Muted side, very impressive. I like to see it, and that's what converted them to the round win because they had the 5v3 going into the execute.
Yep. And I think another really, really big thing that we're seeing right now is it's just that both attacks so far have been really good at communicating with one another. It felt like Muted understood instantly, hey, the Warden's dead. And then they slowly played off that intel. And then I believe we saw Yana on the prone, and Yana saw that the Valkyrie was by her, and just, you know, you figure at that point, unless they have 3 roamers and they're going really crazy with this, hey guys, odds are there's no one contesting attic from underneath. Go ahead and take attic as soon as possible. Once you start working, like, it's that communication we're seeing from both sides. We saw it on both attacks. So, maybe this will be an attacker side to Oregon. How crazy would that be?
Honestly, like, It would be really cool to see. I'm highly hoping for it because I want this to be a really close match, especially on the every map, not just that it goes to a third map. And so if they're able to pull off an attacker side Oregon, I would be happy to see it. I would like to study the strats, see why they can change the meta.
Toxic is swapped off that Warden as the Jaeger. He will be roaming. Dynasty will be with him as well as that Valk again.
Oh, here's the fight.
Oh,
He wins it with the pre-fire.
Beautiful pre-fire. Just fires head level and takes out Falam. Man, that was some good. I don't know if they had a drone. You know what? I bet he just heard him. I bet.
Yeah, he heard him because he heard the barricade break and then he heard the footsteps.
Will not win that second gunfight though. Does take a little bit of damage off of Dilly. So it's unfortunate that you don't kill the Ying, but you do get rid of the nades, and that's all the soft destruction from underneath, as there goes the Ying. Dynasty manages to take the head off of Dilly, and will just scamper right back out of sight now.
And so this is the same situation with the 4 people bunkering site, but the difference is that now both of their primary entry players are gone. And so being able to bunker onto the site, super advantageous for Super Soakers compared to last round where it basically like cornered them and forced them into very uncomfortable positions.
I mean, really, the big important thing is they will not be able to get the main wall open because of the fact that they lost that Yana. Also, sorry, Dynamite. I saw your question, I just didn't know the answer. But right now, I mean, really, their only options are pushing Attic now. We'll throw a couple flashbangs over window to freak them out a little bit.
Is that an angle? Can you see that Cade? I feel like from the window through the rotate, you should be able to see like a leg of that Cade if you just move a little farther to the right.
You'll be able to see a little bit of that Cade. Oh,
yeah, like,
I think you can see the heel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a soft wall.
Right there.
No, I'm pretty sure like you can shoot next to the through the little beam next to the reinforcement and get that angle. I don't know. I had to jump to a custom game and check it, but I was curious.
Maybe.
Oh, very beautiful shot from Rock.
Rock will take out Midnight, but Jay will just equalize it right off the bat. Rock very low health. It looks like Boppo might just be holding the cross at this point, is what his plan is.
Yeah, he's going to hold the cross here and then see if they can go for a plant, I think. But actually, no. In a 2v3, he needs to play with his teammate. As Rock's trying to get this pick on the guy in Trophy, Boppo picks up the guy in Kids, unfortunately gets traded out from the one in Trophy, and it's now down to a 2v1. 1v1, as I say that. The whiff from Jay, and he's tucked into the corner reloading. He's going to get pre-fired, but unfortunately, he swings out and wins the fight. Unfortunately for Muted, that is, as Super Soakers wins the round.
Boppo, it looked like he had a real shot there. He gets that second kill. He has 5 seconds left. He knows Jay whiffs a lot of shots. It just looks like... I don't know if Boppo didn't know fully where he was, thought he was deeper in the attic, but...
I'm almost certain that it was Boppo in the 1v1, right?
Yes.
I'm almost certain that he was able to see the gun. That's why he was looking to the left side of the door when he was rounding it. I think, with 2 seconds left on the clock, all he had to do was pre-fire it. He's not going to run out of the magazine before the end of the round. Like, he just had to go for it, and Jay would have swung into his bullets. But is what it is. Not something you think about in the moment.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
I mean, but hey, Soakers, a little bit of butt clenching at the very end.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's a round that they had handily. That came down to a 2v2 and then a 1v1.
Yeah, the Super Soakers had the lead on it, and it just barely clutched it out there at the end. I'm sorry. Was it?
I'm not going to bother going into anyone's perspective this round because I think you and I both know.
That's fair.
Could you be any more apparent with what's about to happen with this lineup? Lion, Finka, Blitz, Ying, Ash.
I am so ready for it.
This is
so ready, and they're late on the setup. You notice they don't even have the shield down or anyone in blue. They are going to get caught off guard here most likely. This is looking very nice. I'm very happy to see this.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the rush.
I think it's going to be a main rush. It's going to be a main rush.
The rush isn't coming down main.
Oh, please get ready.
This is for a rough. This is moving awful slow. I get you want to drone this out, but. Alright, I guess I will be swapping.
It looks like they're giving them most of laundry. Ash is over here making noise on blue. So I don't think there's anyone actually watching Laundry, just the one watching Freezer. If they can push down here fairly quietly and then take that space, this could go really well for Muted. We'll see in just a second.
We go? Question mark? Looks like Ash's goal is to just make as much noise as possible.
I would stay on the Ying if you don't mind. That way, you know, we can watch as she falls in the blitz.
Well, that's unfortunate.
The bulletproof sees him. Oh, she's gonna flash her own blitz most likely. Gets taken out by Salt, and yeah, this rush has devolved very quickly. It is all down to Bappo and the 1v5, and most likely he's gonna take a tech timeout.
Yep.
That was
a rush will not work if you wait for them to finish their setup. I do really like the thought process there, but it felt like you just took too like. A lot of your droning work before the rush needs to happen in prep phase. If you're droning it a second time after the fact, the rush is over.
Yeah.
Now, Papa will get one, prevent the perfect round. Dynasty will pick it up again, and now we've got map point for Super Soakers. There's some really dominant rounds, to be blunt.
I think what most likely happened, right, is they called, hey, let's do a rush this round without droning it first, and realizing that it was okay to do a rush, because if they had droned it, they would have said, hey, these guys are really late at on-site setup. We need to rush, and we need to rush quick. And if that happens, I think there's a good chance that that round ends in their favor, but because they gave them time to finish setting up, they gave them time to check blue and realize there was basically only one person there, and then, you know, you notice the two people fell back, one person looked at Freezer, one person looked at Laundry, someone got on the bulletproof. At that point, it was too late. By the time the rush happens, as soon as they call Blitz and Ying, crossfires are established, and they're walking into a can opener.
Mm-hmm.
Attackers need to locate and
so all Soakers need to take their map pick and set a dominant opening. I mean, right now, we've got Dynasty at 13 kills, Salt at 9 kills, Day at 5, don't talk about midnight, and then everyone on Super Soakers is going positive and has contributed to these round wins. Jay with the clutch, Salt with some very strong performances, Dynasty just getting kill after kill after kill, Toxic doing his part, just wasting time. Meanwhile,
yeah, honestly...
Oh,
go ahead.
I don't know what... you don't ever want to concede a match. But at some point, you kind of just have to say, you know what, guys, it's their map pick. This was the expected result. Take some breaths. Maybe have a little... I wouldn't say have a little bit of fun, but maybe just, you know, do something to mentally reset yourself before the next map. Finish off with on a good note, maybe.
Definitely. Yeah, I think Muted can definitely win this still. You know, as you pointed out, like, the... if you ignore the two donuts on the teams, right? Everyone's has decent score lines, right? It's basically just the team play that's coming down and changing the rounds. And if they can get a little bit more coordinated, especially with their own map coming up, I think that this can still change it either direction. And so, you know, if they take a step back, they relax a little bit and just say, hey, we get that this round, like, this map isn't going great for us. Let's see if we can take as many rounds as possible. If we can get it to overtime, perfect. Otherwise, we always have the next map, and we can fix our issues there.
Right now, we do see... Are we going to have another round in Oregon, or are Soakers going to take it in dominating style? So far, we're at a minute 56. And I don't think anyone's ran into one another just yet. Toxic is playing this top floor. Probably realized at this point, doesn't look like he's going to get cleared out. It looks like we're just doing a straight horizontal push, and that's exactly what this is. Balam is, if I had to guess, his job is to hold this flank here, make sure that they don't get pushed up on from the side.
Also, Hobbs was asking if this is Super Soaker's map pick. It is, right?
Sarcastic, and oh, that's a pick you can't allow, and you especially can't allow Toxic to get away in that circumstance.
I'm surprised that they didn't either open that hatch or reinforce it if they were going to have someone play a meeting.
Balam pushing out, will give away his position.
Almost picks up one through the wall in the kitchen, because I don't think that's reinforced. Dynasty picks up Falam, and now is a 5v3 in the favor of Super Soakers. This is most likely going to be the last round, but Bappo is getting a plant down out of nowhere and down to 3v3. This is winnable, as they just put a plant down behind box from a meeting. To a 3v2, both people on low health, and Toxic loses his fight. Now it's all down to Midnight in the 1v3 like clutch on the back end with the post plant. This is very difficult for her to win on 1 HP.
This is what
Gonna get pre-fired on Z. Bappo is still taking his fights.
Dynasty when you say the round's over.
Right? that collapsed into the other side so fast. She's gonna see if she can at least pick up one. But I believe that this is all over. 12 seconds on the clock. She's not gonna be able to get over there. Dilly picks up the last kill, and that's another round played for Muted.
Dilly manages to pick up 2 kills while the plant's going down. Bappo manages to pick up Dynasty after the fact, and then there's just such low health on everyone at that point. I mean, there's not much you can do really in that situation. Muted are able to claw that round back and push us now. I mean, look, all you gotta do is keep winning rounds.
I genuinely don't know how they won that. Because they got meeting control. They got the wall open. I would say their biggest flaw is they didn't have anyone playing security, but even so, like...
Having Amaru, Glaz, Ying. God have mercy.
That's one hell of a lineup, that's for sure. I am excited to see what they're trying to do with it. I assume Amaru's going into Kid's window if they're top floor. Yeah, and Ying's probably going to go through big window, so most likely it's Kid's big for a fast plant, with the Lion using the Gon 6 and the scan. That's my best guess.
I can see where the confusion is in the chat. So, what we ended up doing is we just decided I might have been spreading some light misinformation. Teehee. There. Friends. I guess I forgot my disconnect. It turned out that if you get the first seed, if you make it to the winners bracket, all you receive in terms of map bans is you get to pick if you get first or second. Muted decided to ban second, so this first map pick is Soakers. Muted did not get to pick a map without any bans. I was outvoted.
Interesting.
Yep.
So this is Super Soaker's map pick then?
This is Soaker's map pick, yes.
Okay, cool. And Illy Sky is Muted pick?
Yes, Muted is from the upper bracket. Soakers is from the lower bracket, but it did not make a difference outside of getting to pick who bans first. They're trying to drone this out now. This rush works. I mean,
I'm kind of hoping it does.
Realistically, it should. Realistically, it should. There's not really a lot set up here.
Hey, did you see that Lion scope in on his head through the window? He's hacking. Report him.
Maru is getting ready to go. Look at... No! He doesn't realize the Goyo's in the corner! That
no!
wasn't user, but that's still so unfortunate. That would have been a free kill, and once again...
This is going south for Muted really quick.
Once again...
Their rushes are just not working.
No, their rushes just have not been working.
I feel like the issue is the lack of commitment to it.
No, that was well committed to. The problem was you just didn't check the corner.
Well, no, the Maru committed, but no one jumped in big window.
Oh!
Because he died outside of big window. Flam got the kill onto Midnight.
I mean, even if the rush didn't work, this is still a salvageable round, assuming that Muted
that is true.
Reordinate themselves. I don't know if they realize, though, that Toxic is underneath. It does not look like they are aware. If anyone jumps into this big window, they will be killed almost instantly. Oh, no! Bappo not scoped in. Jay will pick him up.
Or Bappo.
I don't... We'll see. That's a rough thing to come back from. Bappo picks up that
I'm
kill.
really hoping that Glaz gets a couple of clean one taps here. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Can't prone in the fire to shoot his feet, so basically, he can get a lot of damage done. Not quite enough. Salt is down to 1 HP. Still 4v2 though. It's gonna be very difficult for them to come back from. They have no hard breach, no soft breach, and they're kind of pinned away from each other.
The oil canister to block off Alam's push. Yep, and then the Dynasty holds across, and it looks like map 1 will be going to Super Soakers.
You were so hesitant to say it.
I was waiting after that last round. So map 1 goes to Super Soakers by a score of 7-4. Just amazing showing from Dynasty and Salt. Just
Definitely. And you know, we just ignore Midnight there. She's gonna pop off in the next round. She's you know, just getting some food
Yeah,
and
she's sick. She gets an excuse.
yeah. Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, she's sick. That is
Yeah.
completely fair.
She gets an excuse. But soakers, super soakers, get soaked. You are one map away from winning, from getting your trophy.
That's true.
So we are going to go into intermission real quick. And we'll be right back with you guys for map number 2. Well, we got a brief visit from Hobbs, but sadly he will not be joining us. So we're going on to map number 2. It is going to be Skyscraper. It is Muted's pick. Soakers is going to start on defense. Muted is going to start on the attack. I would like to change my prediction. Soakers just dominated that first map.
They really did.
It's going to take some soul searching from Muted. I mean, granted, this is their map pick. Maybe they figured, like exactly what I said. Let's just focus on rebuilding that mental little bit.
I genuinely believe that if they can do just a brief mental reset, they've warmed up at this point. This can still flip. right? Super Soakers had a very hot map, and I think that they might start cooling off if they aren't preparing properly. It just depends. I'm still, hoping that Muted gives us a map 3. So I really want to see them show up on their own map.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We are going to go into this map. We'll see what the bans are. I'm probably going to see a Dakaibi ban again.
Most likely. Yeah. I would be very surprised if I see a Jackal because he's just not that strong on this map. But if that's a comfort pick for them,
Muted, lock them in instantly. Yep, there's
Ace. Interesting. Okay.
I
like the Ace ban. I think Ace is basically the only safe way to get the wall for like Samurai Office, like that outside wall. If you don't have an Ace, then you have to swing in, and that's very dangerous. So I like that ban.
Especially considering people now seem to do those feet holes on the wall.
Yes, yeah.
Like on one side of the wall, so now you have to, if you're, like, you have to bring Habana basically to get that wall open.
Basically, yeah. And Warden ban, that's basically, like, I don't think there's going to be any, like, smoke plants. I think that's just because the 1.5 on the MPX, and a lot of people crutch it.
Perhaps. We do see Solus and Warden, so the defensive bans are completely different. Attack, we still have the Dakaibi gone, but we have the Ace gone as well. And interesting, Ace was banned by Muted. The team's starting on their attacks. So either we're going to get a heavy dose of Thermite, or what?
It looks like Bappo instantly locked in the Thermite, so he's comfortable on Thermite. Someone called, hey, let's ban Ace, I'll play Thermite, and I think it was Bappo.
Probably either that or, they scrimmed. God forbid.
Imagine scrimming in BroLeague. That's crazy. That's wild, huh?
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
we do see Fenrir was not banned, so we'll see Fenrir probably brought every single round. Azami and Fenrir, I hate my life. I don't.
Azami and Fenrir is going to be crazy, like, to have to deal with, especially because you can put Azami barricades like on weird objects and then stack Fenrir gadgets on top of them, so you can get some like very interesting places to catch people blind that are just in the middle of nowhere, and they have no cover to dip back behind, so they're just running around fully blind.
Those look like pretty standard setup. We do see also a Legion. I mean, this is just like I wouldn't say full stall, but it's annoying. Oh.
The run out from Toxic? He's got to wait 10 seconds. He can do it right now. He's waiting for the second repel sound. Here it goes. He's going to try to get the pre-fire. Misses it, takes a lot of damage, and retreats.
He fired a single bullet. I think Papa was waiting for him. Figured instead of trying to take that gunfight, just get out with my life. Just take
That's completely fair.
Yeah, but put the attack on notice. Hey, fuckos, you guys are in danger.
I mean, it feels like they were already aware of it because it looked like Thermite was pre-aiming it. So it more likely just gave up a lot of health for nothing.
Still has both of his beepers in his pocket.
Who needs utility when you have the T5? Just misses the silhouette as it goes by, but he has a potential to go very big here on the people that are running around in office, or bottom house.
I don't think anyone. Nope, someone's weird down there. Looks like he's aware they're there as well.
Changing max.
Oh, actually, Balam does not seem aware that they're down there because he's kind of just going right past him. Like two ships crossing in the night.
Coyote might back up into this Yana's angle.
Yep,
there it is.
I was trying to desperately swap to it as fast as I could. And I reached at the very end. Dynasty just being
very nice.
Back. He lost.
So that's first blood for Muted. That's very good for them, especially because that was, I believe, their only roamer, at least their only downstairs roamer. And so Muted has a lot of presence as well as like control underneath, so they can get these nades off. First one doesn't hit anything.
Looks like if I had to guess, now now Dynasty knows that he has been found out. Yana knows as well. Oh, and there's someone. That's Diffuser gone, and that's Heartbreach gone, and that's another one gone.
Dynasty!
The Candelas have been spent, and now they have to clear out this player down in drums. They cannot leave Dynasty down there. And there we go. They do pick up that kill. Extreme has moved up to be pushing there. Rock will get down, and a round that looked really strong for Muted has now almost completely collapsed. Falam will bring it back.
As you say that, back to 2v2. Extreme and Falam, last two remaining. They have the Lion scan. They're going to try and get the res off. That's going to bring it up to a 3v2. With man advantage, they might be able to push into sight here. One person's holding from top Black, and the other person from Geisha rotate. They don't have Diffuser, and that's basically going to be drowned.
Yep. Diffuser.
Yeah, I didn't realize they didn't have Defuse. It was in drum, and they never went and got it.
It was in drum, and no one went to get it. So
that is unfortunate, especially because they had drum control, and they already killed the guy in drum, and they had the time to go pick it up.
Yep. Unfortunate for Muted. Super Soakers manages to take the first round. I mean, really, there's just not much to say there. Dynasty is able to get into drum, kill your hard breach, get a second kill, and then just it takes you too long to clear them out. You do eventually even it up. It does turn into a 3v2, but then you just get stuck funneling and you don't have Diffuser. And it's...
Like, to be fair to Muted, right? They had a really, really hot, good start, and they basically lost it because of a hero play on Dynasty. That's not something that's exactly repeatable round to round. And
so about that. Dynasty got dropped 16 kills last map.
I mean, okay, it shouldn't be repeatable round to round. Let me rephrase.
Also, hey, on the board.
Yo, let's go. Hey, better late than never. But anyway, yeah, like, hopefully not repeatable, and so it means that as long as they can keep their attacks like the beginning of that last round and not like the end, they're gonna be doing just fine.
Again, it's the little things right now that Muted have not played poorly this map.
Yeah, they're just getting outplayed by Super Soakers for sure.
It's just that Super Soakers are playing like a team possessed right now. Where that'll sound play. Oh well. You see Boppo now. Once again playing Thermite. It looks like we have basically no, actually these aren't even close to identical. We have Dilly playing the Twitch this time around. Rock playing the Grim. Oh boy.
The Grim is an interesting choice. For this site, I'm not exactly sure where he's going with it, but I do like the. No, actually, there's not much that I can say about it. I'm sorry.
Grim is better than he was. Doesn't mean he's good. But he's better than he was.
Yes, but like I feel like he's even better on sites that. Oh, that's unfortunate. The rats of each of the teams that both just go lurking, find each other, and the bigger rat wins.
That just feels like very, 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 very unfortunate droning. Either someone misdroned, either someone didn't.
I don't think they droned at all. I think he just punched it and tried to walk in. That's why he was like crouched and peeking it. Okay, the Extreme is on the board for the first time in both of these maps, and he gets it with the crazy.
He got a kill towards the end, Worry.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, he starts it with a crazy shot on this map.
I'm gonna be honest. At least it looked like to me Toxic was behind the bar again.
That's unfortunate.
Dynasty will be droned out. They know where he is. Question is, will anyone be able to pick him up? He does pick up the drone. Which will fire off some shots. Will not be able to clip the Valkyrie. Right now, Muted has equalized. They don't have really much control right now as their main issue.
This is Zombie Barricade. Dilly, yeah, is going to punch it so he can get it out of the way. Doesn't have to crouch walk in. As long as they can get Dragon control, which I think they're going to get soon, they should have Terrorist control. At that point, it's not looking bad for Muted. They don't really have wall open, which is the biggest issue.
Takes a lot of damage from what I think is Dynasty shooting at him. Probably that angle right there. Are they aware of the player? Boppo managed to pick up.
Boppo, nice pick.
I don't know. Are they aware of the player in VIP? Oh, Dynasty will just whip a couple shots there. Won't be able to pick up the Boppo sprinting by him. I don't know how I feel about every single one of Muted's players currently being in Terrace. Oh no, Boppo gets the wall open. Don't know, but Dynasty.
They don't know about the one on Jukebox or radio though.
They don't seem to. Are they just going to go for Smant?
Yep, there's the pick on the extreme. They still don't check radio! He gets 2! No! He didn't call it after he died. Jay didn't call it after he got picked from radio. Was it Jay? Whoever walked in and got the Legion to shoot him in the back didn't call it, and then the second one walked in and got the Legion to shoot him in the back.
It's possible he didn't know that the Legion shot him in the back, but I did not like that push because, like I said, applying absolutely no pressure from Dragon.
Yeah, at the very least, they could have gotten VIP wall from the outside with Thermite, because I assumed that they had utility on primary wall and they weren't able to get it. Or they could have also gotten minibar wall, and that would have prevented the person from playing radio. So definitely a choice. Let's play it that way.
First 2 defenses, first 2 attacks from Muted not going their way. I mean, Super Soakers, they're just capitalizing on mistakes right now. Dynasty, 20 kills with 2 maps so far.
Yeah, I think it really started with the Yana, because that was their nades off the board, and it also, like, that was a first pick really early. A lot of their intel game also relied on that Yana. So walking in either with, like you said, poor droning or no droning, definitely like set them off on a really bad foot, and then from there, Super Soakers just snowballed it.
We do see the swap from that Yana to a sledge, still has the nades, no longer has the drone. We also see Nomad being brought in. I think Nomad was being brought in before.
I believe there was a Nomad as well, yes.
So, and I mean, right now, if I'm Super Soaker, like, you're just kind of vibing at this point.
Yeah, this can be a tough map to get a hold of on defense sometimes. And so, you know, they've taken their 2 sides, they're on a tertiary, they don't really need to do a whole lot on this tertiary site. If they can win it, great, otherwise they're just kind of chilling.
Yeah, I am noticing Muted is picking up the pace right now. Dilly is already in Shrine. He's already about to push into Drum. I believe he has a drone directly in front of him. He will, so that drone will tell him about Toxic. They'll know each other's there, and Toxic's just going to spray and pray and manages to pick up the kill.
Again, Yana off the board. A rough start for Dilly, as Toxic almost picks up a second one in Drum. He's fighting, he's looking for a fight. He's gonna find it here in VIP. He's gonna down the Lion, most likely confirm it here with the Bailiff. And at this point, Toxic has done his job. Even if he dies right now, he's wasted a ton of time, he's killed drones, and he's gotten 2 picks. Like, he's done everything that you can ask of him. Gets a 3rd one just because why not? And at this point, he's going for the ace.
Yeah,
let him have it.
He is pretty much single-handedly won the round for his team at this point. We'll take that kill just to see if he can't get another. Yeah. Unless Boppo and Falan really don't have many options available to them. They've lost their entire team in a matter of a minute and a half.
They don't have the manpower to be able to go for vertical and, you know, successfully do it. Like, at best you can try and clear the roamers up there, but otherwise you might as well just start working towards site or look for fights.
You also don't have the drones, because the only drone left is the one Boppo is currently driving, and the one that is gone. So you have no drones left.
With no drones and a Fenrir on the board, this is not looking great for them.
Definitely is.
They're going to push in those Fenrir guys without knowing where they're at. That's a hard wall that Batbo's not going to be able to shoot through. So yeah, not looking great.
Salam is going to push up on them. It looks like they seem to know that the Fenrir has ran on over into T. Does not win the gunfight though. Dynasty picks up Falam. Yeah,
Dynasty is having one hell of a game.
You gotta be thinking we're gonna see a timeout pretty soon for Muted, right?
I assume so. If you lose like the trifecta on a map like Skyscraper, right, which probably is as close as you can get to an attacker side map in BroLeague, then I would expect a timeout.
10 seconds.
There's Dynasty picking up another.
That's
Dynasty
unfortunate.
Just,
yep, timeout requested.
Timeout requested. You have to at this point. they've had no answer for Dynasty so far.
Yeah, I don't really know, because obviously I'm not in their comps, right? So I don't really know what the issue is as to why they keep getting caught off guard like that. They're losing a lot of people early, whether they're droning in front of them or not. They're like their entry player is just dying every time. It doesn't matter if it was Dilly on it or Falam. Like both of them tried entering, both of them died off the bat with no trade. I don't really know what the issue is, but it has to start in the early round.
Yep.
Like they need that first blood to be able to snowball.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, this timeout lets them reorient themselves a little bit. Because right now, it looks like we're gonna have a very early night. Midnight looking to become. I could have sworn Jay won too. Can someone real quick in chat? Was Jay part of the team that won? Was Jay on Midnight's team? And I am not going to say always the cowgirl. Never. I just did.
Why would you acknowledge that in chat? Like, there's a reason I didn't say anything. Okay,
it was a stream of consciousness that caught me.
It's important to read the chat, but not relay the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll put it on the scoreboard between me and Scare.
Fair enough.
You got me this round, but I believe Jay was on that team with Midnight, wasn't he? That team was Tigers.
Year 2?
Yeah.
Tigers, Hobbs,
Texans, Hobbs, Midnight. No,
I don't think Jay was there.
So Midnight,
Jay was with her last year.
Yes, I believe so.
Year 3.
So Midnight looking to be the first 2-time BroLeague champion. See if she manages to pull that off. It looks like Toxic is just going to. Oh. Well, this is getting disrespectful.
Next thing we know, Midnight's going to be touted as the Fabian of BroLeague, the only 2-time champion, and not exactly. Nothing against her. She's not exactly carrying the team. You know what I mean?
No, she's there for moral support. Clearly,
exactly.
It's working.
It is working. Whatever she's doing, it's working.
Toxic pulling out the Boss G. Interesting. This definitely feels like a, hey, we're up 3-0 right now.
Yeah. We're up 3-0 and 1 map. We can do a little bit of trolling. Rock on the Monty. That's hopefully the change that they need to be able to start, getting some footing in this map. That's what I'm gonna guess.
This looks like it's just gonna be them taking directly. This looks like it's gonna be a direct push. I'm always very nervous about direct pushes. Yeah, is there a player on top black? No, there's actually not a player from Super Soakers on top black, so the Monty should be able to just push right in.
Yep, they also don't have anyone on Karaoke Repel, which is going to make this significantly harder for them. Because even if Monty can make it in, the follow-up... Oh, now they do.
Yep. Oh, Dilly will pick up Jay. Hang on, we've got something.
The plant's already going down, it's already halfway.
Monty is taking a lot of damage. Oh!
And just like that's a 5v2, make that a 5v1. No, not quite. But 5v2 in favor of Muted. This is the change that they definitely needed as it goes to the first round that Muted wins on Skyscraper. Off of the Monty push-in direct take from top black and the cross-bang held from Karaoke window. That is insane. Whatever their read was on that, whatever made them think of that, beautiful job to that person that called it.
Yeah, I mean, a really good call, really good push. Just basically circumnavigates the room. And as dominant as Super Soakers have been...
Maven, that was the 5th one.
Maven was the 5th. As dominant as that first half has been for Super Soakers so far, Muted scrapes together one round, maybe even manages to claw out that second. You go on to defense on Skyscraper. It could really happen. Muted just needs to take this one round at a time. And it looks like Toxic will now... Alright, I had my fun. We're going back to the... Kia. We do have Ooh, I don't know how much that Vigil's going to do them for, though, because of the fact that Jackal is being brought out now. What the heck are we talking about in chat? Oh, yeah, how many
I'm not sure.
BroLeague digests are you in defeat?
I don't think I'm in any. No, I am in one. I'm a Monty that's planting and dies because Hobbs is baiting me. Hobbs is playing a 1v1 from the top floor of Order, and looking at top floor when the call is showers. That's the BroLeague digest I'm in.
Hobbs, how do you defend yourself? We'll wait for him to properly respond. Toxic.
And I wasn't saying that you know, like Midnight didn't deserve it. That's why she's the Fabian, you know? One of the best players in the world.
True, one of the best IGLs in the world.
That's very true. And I know that Midnight likes the IGL.
Toxic looks like he really wants to take one of these opening fights, and since he's Vigil, he won't be thrown out. They'll know he's nearby, and that's all that matters when it comes to Vigil. You're not gonna push in while you think that Vigil is still nearby. Speaking of, oh, they will drone once again. And I think at this point, probably Toxic is not looking to take a gunfight. He's looking to just avoid it. He wasted a minute. They're running out of drone. Actually, they're not. Oh.
You better start running.
Is this gonna happen? It does. Rock does not seem to be aware that the hatch is open, and Salt just lights him up from above, gets that opening pick.
Very nice pickup from Super Soakers, as does their Bravo, which means that I don't think she's used her drones at all. So that's all of her utility off the board right off the bat.
Possible she hasn't. They did manage to drone out, so this is actually a really smart play by Toxic. I'm going to assume it's intentional, because I believe he knows how this works. Since he is doing his visual scanner right here, they see it for basically all of Barbecue and all of Kitchen. Or at least all of that bar area.
Yeah, they also see it all the way down in reception, which is where they were droning, if I'm not mistaken. And so they don't know if he's first floor, second floor, like where at.
Dynasty's just going to scamper right on back. I mean, at this point, you might as well just bunker down. They have, like, no time. Time has been wasted, and Toxic's going to pick up a kill on the Falam.
Toxic on the flank, picks up one, almost had two. And at this point, it looks like Attack is kind of confused. Like, not exactly stalling out, just not sure where to go.
It does indeed look like that. I mean, if they're just being hit on all sides, and I don't know if it's a lack of droning, if it's not pushing up on the drones fast enough, or what. But Vigil has just scampered right around. Dilly will pick up Coyote. But Extreme will get equalized by Dynasty. Dynasty still on just an absolute tear. Midnight will get taken down, though. Dilly will get a second on the round. Still doable, but they need to start moving a little faster. And I don't think Dynasty is playing by the stairs. It's gonna be Jay in the most important position here. He's in the power position. Gonna sprint through this door pretty soon.
Yeah, they're gonna be forced to try and plant in the doorway. That's a bold move with without a smoke.
In the doorway, I think the goo mine was stuck in his foot.
Oh, was he pulling out goo? That makes sense. Okay,
That's exactly what was happening. Jay just in this power position. Soakers
fair enough.
are 3 rounds away from being your BroLeague Season 4 champions.
An incredible showing on Soaker's side so far. Like I said, this is about as close as you can get to an attacker side of the map in BroLeague at least. And they've already taken 4 defenses. So wonderful job from them. You can tell that their setups, if not practiced, are at least thought about, right? Like they're putting people in positions for high impact, and it's working.
Yeah, it's very impressive so far what we've seen from Soakers. And Muted just seem out of sorts. This is not the Muted that we have seen throughout this run. They don't look like they're communicating very well. They're getting caught by surprise. Something gotta change soon.
Definitely.
And the weird thing is that also the Soakers team, not quite what we've seen either. Toxic he's not doing badly at all. I believe he stayed even basically throughout. It might be a little positive through 2 maps. But Dynasty, take a bow, sir, when is in this grand finals is putting on a show.
Yeah, Dynasty is for sure just having a hell of a night. Everyone else, like you can also tell that across most of the team, the kills are fairly well spread, and so there's no one that's slacking on Super Soakers, which is great. Muted a lot of the same. Unfortunately, they do have a lot of people that are negative, but as far as the kills that they do have, also fairly well spread out. It looks like people are doing their jobs well. They're just being simply outplayed by Super Soakers, and so it's no fault of Muted. Super Soakers is just having like a really good night, really good coordination, teamwork, and they're hitting their shots. And sometimes it just comes down to who can hit their shots that night.
Oh, we've got the Vigil bug.
Reload.
It's gone now. As it stands right now, should Soakers continue to win and end up winning this map, I think Dynasty is a pretty clear MVP for them, at least for the grand finals. I don't know his stats for the whole of the playoffs.
I think that's definitely fair to say. I don't exactly remember Dynasty's stats, but I know that him and Toxic were the leading people on their team.
Thanks, and
For sure.
Just gets picked up. Just they seem unprepared for how aggressive Super Soakers is right now.
Yeah, Coyote's playing very aggressive, and just that raw aggression is catching, especially like Dilly and Flam. It looks like off guard in many of these rounds.
That is also very, very big. That's the nade's gone. So no playing Minesweeper underneath now. Now you can just rest easy on site. They drone out the Vigil once again, and Coyote just doing a really good, strong time wasting ability. Does look like he'll get caught out though, but he'll... No, actually, he picks up Alam. Doesn't realize the Jackal's over there, but I mean, he's done his damage. He's picked up 2 kills, completely blunted the offense here.
Yeah, like I said, it's Flam and Dilly that he keeps killing early and getting the picks on, and that's what's absolutely destroying Muted right now. I'm not exactly sure what they can do to change that, or what's going on in the comms, what's going on with Dilly or Flam, but that's what's losing them the rounds for sure.
No, I mean, you got a minute left. There's just not enough utility on the side of Muted right now to really turn this around. They're still repelled out over there. They don't seem to be very comfortable getting anything. They did get the wall open, so that is good. But with Jay in this power position here, Dynasty where he is, Midnight where she is, and Salt where he is, what do you do?
Yeah, we have 30 seconds left in the 3v4 for attack. They have the hard breach and their Jackal up. That means that they have smokes. Looks like they're gonna try and plant in the smoke, but not gonna work out as Jay takes out Bappo very quickly. Is all down the line. He's gonna try and spray, hoping to get one. Most likely they're gonna run out of terrace here. It looks like it's the setup. It takes a lot of damage from the Dynasty that's just jiggle peeking in minibar. Eventually they do run out of terrace. Jay picks up the final kill, and that is a 5-1 split for Super Soakers. Very dominant half.
Super Soakers strength their 5-hour energy, I guess. Whatever the heck they're drinking. I mean, they're on it. And the rocks, I hate us sounding like the game's already over. But
I mean, I would love to be surprised. It's one of those things that I really want to be proven wrong. But unless something changes drastically and immediately, I think that it kind of is going to be over. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, it does not seem like Muted came with their A game today, and Soakers did. This is easily the best we have seen Soakers all season. Easily.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
And
I think
this is a team that made it to the finals, and they saved their best performance for last. It looks like just dominating Muted.
And please don't think that we're just being mean to Muted, because they're not necessarily playing terribly. They're just not playing at the caliber that Super Soakers is right now. Right? This is definitely Super Soakers just came on a very hot streak, and they're showing up today. That's the story that's going on and that we get to witness.
I mean, it's impressive. Like, take a bow, Super Soakers. From play-in, didn't make the playoffs naturally, had to fight tooth and nail to get here, and they end up, they're 2 rounds away.
That's an interesting thorn gadget.
It is an interesting thorn gadget. I don't hate it. I also don't like it.
Agreed. I don't think it covers an area that forces them to, out into the open, because they would already have to be in the open, and it just forces them back into cover.
We'll see how aggressive Soakers wants to be on this opening attack, but they've got a small flood in the water. They just need to get 2 attacks. And the Muted really... They have to be flawless. They have to win the tertiary sites twice effectively. Not even effectively. They have to win the tertiary sites
just
twice
once.
to avoid overtime. To avoid overtime.
Oh yeah, if they want to win in regulation, they have to do the flawless half. Thankfully, never mind. Not thankfully. Super Soakers.
Dynasty's the one that got that kill. That's as easy as an opener as you will get, though, and they already have control of black stairs. They look like they could just be planning on pushing right up. It doesn't look like this Mute is prepared. The Mute is for 1, 2.
Rock going big with the shotgun. They haven't released the shoddy changes yet, have they? With a man playing like that, you might think they have.
Wow. I mean, that's got to be a bit of a hype moment. Oh. And here's an even more hype moment.
Boppo going big for another one. Okay. I have full faith that Muted wins this round.
Yep.
Full faith that Muted wins this round.
Like it. About as dominant as a first round on defense. And maybe we'll just have a very defender-sided Skyscraper.
I think once their black push failed, who was on the shotgun up there?
It was Rock.
Yeah. So once Rock goes big with the shotgun top black, like their entire attack crumbled, right? Because now they're just pushing from one side. They didn't have the control or the pinch that they needed to in order to take Geisha, and they didn't have the flashbangs to clear out the guy that was back box. So if it wasn't for Rock, maybe it swings different. But Rock was the hero, the MVP of that round for sure. Well done, Muted.
Yeah, Muted. Trying to make a statement there. We'll see. One round is not enough. They need to get a second round. They need to. I mean, they need to get.
They need to get a perfect 3. Whether it's this cycle or next cycle, they have to get 3 in a row. So this is an amazing first start. It is just a first start.
I mean, Soakers could just be like, all right, well, we kind of just double peaked up black. We probably arguably should have won that gunfight against the Mute. We got under really low. Let's just go back to what we were doing before, communicating really well, droning really well, taking our time.
Yeah. Because at this point, like, when you need a flawless half to win, that means that even the flukes, like, you can't let them have a fluke round. And that's all that Super Soakers has to do at this point. They just have to get lucky 1 time. 2 times, technically, if they want to win in regulations.
We'll be bringing that Fenrir Dynasty back on the Yana. Oh, this drone spot. I kind of like it. I mean,
fancy.
It probably should be spotted by the person who punches that door, as Falam will be the one roaming. Looks like he will. Toxic will. Not even hiccups. What?
I'm getting some hiccups right now. Yeah.
Look at us hiccuping. Just do ASMR hiccuping.
Right. I'll make sure I put my mic in my throat while I'm hiccuping, just for you.
That got weird. All right.
You're welcome.
Looks like Dynasty and Toxic will be focusing on dealing with these roamers underneath. Minute has been spent. But realistic, Skyscraper is a small enough map that you can afford to take a little bit of time to get territory, but you can't be taking much more. Like, you've droned it out. You've wasted a couple drones at this point. Actually, they still have 6 drones total.
I think that they're setting a decent, like a just fine pace. I think they have enough map control, at least like below, that they have what they need. Hopefully they can get a nade on that guy that's playing Shield in Office, and if that happens, then Super Soakers are going to be looking good. Looks like they just got wall up top, and so Super Soakers is actually putting on a really good like pace right now. I think it's going to come down to Muted on how they respond. That's going to be the story.
Toxic's underneath right now. Gets rid of the hatch to see if he can't catch any debris on this bomb chest or on the desk. Will get rid of one of the Fenrirs. That's actually
he really needs to go and get rid of that. Okay, they got the nade for the shield.
And it does get the shield, so now that's a bit of protection gone away from Boppo. They're just going to start opening the floor up from underneath, play what soft creatures do. And it looks like we might already be getting an execute coming pretty soon.
I hope so. They have the smokes, they have the flashes, and they still have the one nade from below to deny the person that's going to swing out from Samurai as Flum takes first blood onto Jay, roaming down below.
Yep, and now Toxic and Dynasty both look like they're going to go on the hunt. They really can't afford to do the 26 seconds left. They need to start doing something. 20 seconds remaining. Still got barbed wire on those main stairs.
Yeah, they have to commit this push. They're walking up. Loses to the better angle of Dilly up there. And it is a 4v3 in favor of Muted. Midnight's trying to put down the bomb and looks like she's going to be successful. No, not successful. And with 2 seconds left, it's basically all over.
That Thorngat is going to kill it. And Muted gets a second round on their defenses. Bit of a hectic finish there towards the end, but...
Did you see Salt the Fenrir try and run to get start defusing the defuser when it wasn't even planted? That was funny.
Well, I think he shot them. I don't think he realized it hadn't been. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think they thought they had been planted, but it was fine.
Yeah. It was funny. I enjoyed it. Good times. A lot of things happen in the heat of the moment when you're down in like the last 5 seconds and everyone's scrambling and the comms are crazy.
Heat of the moment. Great. I'm never gonna beat these old man allegations. I'm 23, I swear. Also, I don't actually drink 5-hour energy. I was just
the big story right now. Muted has already taken 2 rounds. They're on their tertiary side. If they win this, it'll be 5-4. That's nearly even. And if they can keep such a strong defense. Like, all they would need is 2 more after that to go to overtime. This becomes winnable. This round right here settles if it's match point or not, and it also settles if this is going to be a doable round, a doable win for Muted. So this has a lot of importance for Muted, not as much importance for Super Soakers.
Yeah, so Soakers, worst case, I mean, obviously you don't want to let it get there, but you still have the third map to fall back on. If the worst case scenario, you completely lose this map, it's like, okay guys, we had them on the roof. Finish them off the map. Muted are fighting for their lives basically every single round.
Right.
I know that's a 5 and not a 6. That does not change how important this round is.
Yeah, especially if I'm not
want to get to the point where you cannot afford to lose a single round.
If I'm not mistaken, if it does go to overtime, do we know who is going to be on defense? Because I'm pretty sure it's Super Soakers, right?
I don't believe either team has said that which side they started, so I set it to Ring.
Okay.
That's what I've done
in that case, they're just taking the 50s.
Yeah.
But it should be whoever picks the map, the other team gets to pick the overtime.
Yes.
Or sorry, whoever gets to pick the side, the other team gets to pick the overtime.
Muted is definitely looking like they're holding here. Soakers is taking a bit of a slower approach. Salt will be the first pick. Extreme manages to pick them up. How the hell?
It was through the floor on the vault in. Yeah,
Yes.
it missed drone from whoever was outside the window because they didn't look down when they jumped in.
Looked like it didn't look at caught by a Nomad. Topic seems a little hesitant to push in here. Minute 40. And the entry has really been blunted by Muted. Muted has done a really good job of punching back right now on these defenses, playing a very aggressive defense, much like Soakers did.
So because
round as Malam picks up another.
Their top presence is crazy right now. They got 3 people up top just winning all of their fights, and it looks very much like Muted's going to take this round. It's going to be a 5-4.
Oh boy, Muted had to have the stream on or something and just like talking all this.
Timeout requested by Super Soakers. But anyway, so what I was going to say is that Toxic was by himself, top black. He doesn't have a refrag. That means that he should not be first contact. Salt had to be first contact on Geisha, right? So their guns are faced towards Geisha. And so that's why it blunted so bad when Salt dies instantly on the entry and they realize that they can't take Geisha because they didn't have the hard breach up there.
He does pick up Extreme. Rock will equalize, though. Dynasty loses that gunfight. And now all of a sudden... and picks up Jay. And we are... Muted.
This is now doable.
Back.
Muted is making one hell of a run from a bottom of the leaderboard, back fighting their way back. It is 5-4, anyone's map at this point. With the siding of the map as it is, doing a 2-1 split on the second half, completely reasonable. And they've already shown that they can take 3 rounds in a row. That means the possibility of them winning this on the board. Muted is doing a fantastic job in whatever issues that they were having. It seems like they're fixing them very quickly and on the fly, and that's impressive to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're Super Soakers, you're like, hey guys, take some deep breaths. We had this map. We still have this map. We're still in the lead despite losing 3 rounds in a row. Let's go back to basics. Let's go back to what make our attacks so strong. Droning each other in and refragging. That's the important thing I think that they're missing here. It looks like they were taking a lot of solo fights and they were just losing them. And that's really the only difference so far we've seen is that the solo fights that they're taking, instead of going for refrags, they're just losing their gunfights now.
Yeah, I think Super Soakers is cooling off because they're getting into basically like the same headspace that even I was in, where it feels like it's over. We're right at the end. We can take our foot off the gas a little bit. Chill out. We can lose a couple of rounds. That's fine. We're gonna be set. Like, these guys aren't playing well, and then out of nowhere, Muted stepped up, and these guys are having to start again from scratch, even though they've cooled off.
Yep. I mean, obviously, if you're Soakers, like I said, worst case scenario, all right, guys, mental reset. We've got Cafe coming up.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they're going to need Cafe. I think they can keep fighting for this. They still have the lead. It's not too late for them. They just need to realize, hey, we've let our foot off the gas too much, and we have to put our heads down and grind. Muted, on the other hand, they have to be hyped right now. They have to be like, yelling in the voice comms, like, keeping the energy up, because whatever they're doing right now is working, and if they can keep that going another 2-3 rounds, they have this map in the bag, and they will be on a really good start for the next map.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you want to do as a team is lose a map that you had a 5-1 lead on.
That's true.
There's very few feelings worse.
This is actually a very similar, assuming Muted wins, this is a very similar storyline to the RoEyes Team Conspiracy final last season, where RoEyes went down first map and then clawed it back from a terrible half second map, ends up winning third map.
What I'm hearing is the BroLeague scriptwriters are lazy.
Yeah, basically. Season 3 and 4 just repeats. Oh, if only he shot there. That's unfortunate. He was tracing him all the way across.
No, it's gonna be Boppo the man who's right by. I believe that's a nade use. That's a lot of drones gone just for one little bandit.
Hit the pre-fire. Ooh.
He does manage to
get
get
wall
the
banked.
ball. The first opening pick that Soakers have had so far. I don't know if it's on this. No, because they got the opening pick their first attack and just didn't work. Looks like they're
We're getting some lag and frame drop in the stream. I'm not able to see a whole lot here, so I'm gonna have to rely on you to color commentary this one.
Alright, well, hopefully that resolves itself. Right now we do see Toxic Sam this Claymore. It's a much slower attack. Sure, they got opening pick, but they don't want to give it up. Rock playing tight with the shotgun will get droned out. We'll just get rid of the drone and fall back, it looks like. I'm also getting some jitter and latency. I really hope it's not my internet. But they do have control of Shrine now. Super Soakers does and needs to just slowly start working to convert. There's barbed wire in that doorway. No damage done so far to Soakers. Minute left at this point, and they have a lot of good ground taken. Extreme just setting up an angle to stop the eventual plant. Still Shrine to a long angle. Dynasty holding one too, but get a whiff of damage onto Billy and take him out a little bit. Smoke canisters will start flying. Dynasty will pick up Dilly. That is huge. We are now sitting at a 5v3. Nice shots coming out. Respect between foes. Jay will get picked up by Falam, though, from underneath. In fact, just a little bit. Dynasty will sneak right by, though. Those kills made by Falam. And it looks like we might be getting ready. Oh, that's
They're
Thatch-
stacked up against this shotgun of Rock, though. This shotgun could change the entire course of the round for sure.
Dynasty takes out Extreme, though, so all of a sudden this is incredibly winnable for them. Rock does not pick up the Nomad, really needed to. Will pick up the Thermite, though, and confirmed. Dynasty picks up Falam, though, and now it's a 1v3. Rock is just stuck in his position and will not stop. Dynasty just effectively said, we are not losing this round. And now, Super Soakers are on map and match point.
Yeah, so Muted has to be feeling the pressure at this point. If they weren't already, there is no room for failure anymore. They have to take these next two because it's the last 2 rounds, and they can't make any mistakes. There is no room for flukes or errors or miscommunication. This is the end. Like, if they lose this next round, they will have lost both maps at 7-4, which is a little ironic. But if they lose, it's over. So they're feeling the pressure. They're buckling down. They're saying, hey, we got to get both these next 2 rounds perfect. How are we going to do it? And if we're in their voice comms, I'm hoping that they have a plan and that they're going to be able to execute, and they're not going to try and overextend or panic because they're on that match point.
I mean, right now it's it. This is it. You dug yourself a hole, you started climbing back, but now this is what happened. When you go down 5-1, yeah, you had a really, really strong start to your defensive halves. You won 3 rounds in a row. Guess what? You lost 1 round, the series is almost over. We'll see.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, again, tip of the hat to Dynasty. 30 kills.
14 and 5. Oof.
30 kills through 2 maps so far, and still not done.
So see, if I do the math correctly on this round is their 22nd round. So across 21 rounds, dude has 30 kills. That is like a 1.3 kill per round ratio. That's pretty wild. That's very impressive.
I don't want to speculate, but I think the TikTok man is on TikTok.
Definitely. He is gonna get kicked for inactivity if he waits any longer.
I don't think he gets kicked in custom games. This is
Oh,
unfortunate.
you're right.
It could also be that the server's dying, but it doesn't look like anyone else is really having these issues.
It's on.
No one else is having these issues.
Your stream is dying for me.
My stream
Oh,
is
he's finally moving.
It's moving. What is going on with my stream? Because it was good, map 1. I think it's more, the server might be dying, or at least my internet might be dying. One of these things is happening.
I think it's most likely your internet, because your Discord's also not coming through very well. Ooh, I think that's a Capcan Traps that got Dynasty, and he's down. That's a huge pick for the defense.
Is a really big pick, and Dynasty is gone.
Confirmed by the C4?
Toxic will get 1, will not get the second, though, just looking upstairs. I mean, you wonder what happened. I mean, they have a round to play with, but if Soakers ends up losing this map, you really, really would hate to have one of your entries sitting in spawn for the first 45 seconds of a round.
Yeah, it doesn't look great for them. But I think that it's not too late for sure. Like,
Yeah.
with Fire and Salt still up and alive, never mind. It's not looking great for them.
So we will be going to, unless Salt could do it. I'm gonna hold my tongue. I'm gonna wait to see what Salt does.
Salt gets the 1v4, easy.
Salt wins.
Honestly, the extremes off the board, it's easiest 1v4 of his life at this point. It's basically a given.
Oh, the
no way he
C4
messes this up.
Will flash himself. That is unfortunate.
Fully intentional. No, it was fully intentional. If he can't see, they can't see.
Oh, has a Nomad gadget go off. 30 seconds. He's bouncing back and forth. He's probably just at this point buying time for his team to talk, or letting.
Yeah, I assume so.
Letting whatever.
It doesn't.
BroLeague,
It doesn't look like he's grabbing DPs or anything. He's just buying time.
For all we know, it could be something relatively serious or toxic. So hopefully it isn't.
I hope not. You know, for all we know, he's toggling. That's just how it is. I'm joking. Please, no one take that seriously. No one's hacking.
I'm gonna go with the if it's something serious, they'd ask for a timeout. So
Yeah, most likely.
That's-
Honestly, they're probably just doing like mental resets. They're, you know, he's needs a little bit of time off the comms.
of course, the moment I have to go pee is the moment we go into a max overtime map.
I mean, I would say I could take over, but I actually can't. So
Physically can't.
yeah.
Unless you guys want to be stuck in the sky down view, you better hope my bladder holds. That's a quote that is definitely going to be pulled.
Reloading.
Then she deploys.
I really wish I would realize that these things would be quoted before I said them out loud.
I can't help you, homie. You're on your own.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
I mean, muted one round, and then you still have to win overtime. It's rough. Definitely rough.
5 seconds left.
Gotta reload.
I'm really hoping that Muted pulls this off though. They did get to the tertiary site, which is interesting. They did win a full cycle, and I guess not repeating a lost site might be smart. But it's not traditionally where someone would go, you know, given the option and 1 round remaining. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but they did win it dominant, so maybe that's what
They did.
betting on.
I think most likely they're
so that's
most likely they're betting on the fact that Super Soakers didn't really seem like they knew how to attack it, and so unless, you know, Super Soakers really changed their strat, then that's what Muted's hoping, that they just didn't have time to change their strats.
Bucket brought once again by Toxic. Looks like a pretty similar lineup to what they brought the first time they attacked. But this time they're doing an over clear as opposed to just jumping in Geisha. See how this ends up going. Toxic will see that there's a Fenrir.
What a
gadget. He
smart
could-
Fenrir! Did you see that?
Yeah. I was gonna say he could just shoot it.
No, he couldn't. So he went through. After it got activated and dude was blind, Fenrir locked it back up and made it bulletproof.
Oh, that's what you're
And
saying.
so that-
smart Fenrir.
Yeah. So he turned around and tried to shoot it, couldn't, and then Fenrir reactivated it after he had given it enough time that he assumed that Buck would stop looking.
You have a minute 40 left in the round, and they haven't gotten control of top floor. But to be fair, once they get if they get control of Geisha, oh, that's a huge pick. That's a huge second pick. Dynasty and Toxic, that's your entry is gone, and that's your soft breach gone.
Yeah, that's your entries, your top frags, and your soft breach all gone.
Yep.
And your nades. Your only nades.
There goes Rock. So we do have a little bit of an answer back. And Salt answered back further with Dylan.
And just like that, 3v3.
Yeah. Hey, supports lives matter. The round's not over just because the people with the fancy guns are gone, okay? Although then again, the Para is a pretty good gun.
It is a really strong gun. Not running extended barrel on it though is a crime. But Rock and Dilly, I don't want to say like overextended at all because I didn't see it, but they just got caught in unfortunate situations after in the 5v3 and weren't playing off of each other.
I mean, right now it does look like just because they don't have the ability to open up above right now, Boppo's in a really strong position. They have 26 seconds left. They can't do vertical. It looks like we're about to see just probably a hot.
Never mind.
Right.
It is a muted round. That is a confidence killer.
What?
That is a sign from the gods that it's over.
It was on this door, wasn't it? That's the only thing.
I think so.
Sense. Jay will drop. We'll pick up one, and we're going to. I'm like trying to think of a
so
way.
hard.
I'm trying to think of a way that Soakers can still win this, and it's like, oh, if they drop this hatch and they frag out, or Boppo misses a couple shots, like, you know, they could easily win this round. And then just the 2 bodies fall down the hatch.
All right. So here's the story, right? Get this. Muted has defense on a nearly perfect defensive record map so far. In this match, there's only been 2 attacking rounds across 12 rounds, right? So odds are they at least take one, if not both, the rounds that they need to move to the third map.
Attackers need to locate and
Third map is the decider on Cafe, and because they picked second, that should be their choice on the side to start. Muted could still take this. Not only still take this, they have a good chance to take this to the third map and possibly win it.
Muted have absolutely bound back.
attackers have
I
located
think it's bounded backwards, right? Toxic is
Bounce
on
back?
the hard breach. What's going on? Or, have I seen that before? I've seen him play Ace actually, so it's not completely unprecedented.
I don't think I've ever seen him play hard breach. I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen him play Ace once or twice. Thermite is new.
5 seconds.
Maybe that's just, you know, he feels like, hey guys, I'm not hitting the shots I should. I'm not doing very well in my entry engagements.
Defuse the bomb.
Let me play hard breach instead. And you know what? It's important for players to understand right now when they're on and when they're not. If he's 10 and 10, he's not playing poorly, but he's gonna be playing up to the standards he has. Now
That's fair.
He's on this thermite and the most important operator this round.
I don't like that he swung in before they droned it. If someone ran out from terrace there, he was dead.
Billy is... I don't know why this wall has not been opened. Oh, I'm going to assume because there's a mute jammer on it. They did not bring the Thatcher this time.
So there's no mute. I don't know if you realize that or not.
How did it take so long to get that wall open?
I don't know. Get a drone in or something. So let me ask your opinion. Do you like opening up the left side of that wall so it also opens up in the minibar, or do you think that creates too many angles?
I think either or, as Midnight jumps into a frost mat.
That's an unfortunate set of circumstances. Oh no, and Jay hits a Capcan trap. This is a terrible start for them in overtime.
Damn, man. I've been watching Midnight's perspective and then I see Shay just leave orbit.
The funny part is they had two people on the side of the door that were looking at the Capcan traps. No one called it, no one shot it.
I mean, it's definitely something. They droned that doorway too like 3 different times to
Yeah,
get that
they had at
cross
least
out.
2 drones go past it. Yeah, it was unfortunate.
It is looking more and more likely. Ooh, Rock will end up losing the shield. Will throw a smoke nade. Might as well at this point. They're almost out of drones, by the way, on the side. Actually, no, they're not.
They have a minute left. I don't like that air jet, by the way. It can be shot before you enter the stairs. Like, you can just go to the side of the stairs. But anyway, they have just a minute left. Very little map control as far as, like, pressuring to the site. I guess Toxic now is taking that space as a thermite. That's questionable, but it's basically over as Bappo gets the shotgun and the pre-placed C4.
Toxic does a lot of damage to Dilly. Will not be able to secure the kill, and Dilly will just push up, and that's a flawless first overtime round from Muted.
Oh, Muted is feeling it. All right, whatever happened in this second map when the sides switched, there was a click that went on in their mental, and everything's changed.
Yeah, I mean, do you think at this point Soakers is just like, all right, we'll see you guys on map 3? Like, but you really, really hope, like, if you're Soakers, man, you do not want to go to map 3 at this point. Muted look like an entirely different team.
They really do. This is, like I said, I feel like this is following the RoIS team conspiracy line basically like perfectly. But yeah, this is not great for Super Soakers. It feels like they're getting tired. They're losing a little bit of cohesion. And if they go to map 3, I'm betting on Muted takes it. Like, they look like an incredible team right now. They look coordinated. They look focused. They look like they're on their A game. And Super Soakers has not showed that across the last 5 rounds, maybe 7 rounds.
Yeah. I mean, we will see, though. We are having the Monty once again. The only round that Muted were able to win came from a Monty, I wouldn't say speed push. It was definitely an aggressive push.
Yeah, that's true.
Toxic
And they're trying to do the same thing again.
It's like they realize, oh crap, Capcan is on the board after... I mean, geez, in what? 3 rounds, they've lost 3 people to Capcans?
Attackers must locate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Now, Muted, looking to take us to map 3, looking to take us to Cap A. I don't know why I'm enunciating so hard. You need. But right now, it looks like they're gonna drone this out, see what they can see. I mean, it looks like once again we're dealing with a defense that if Muted wants to, they can pretty much just walk up.
A bomb has been
It would
located.
be very difficult. Oh, never mind. That shield kind of makes it annoying.
That shield is new.
that
Also, they're
is-
reinforcing off the rotate that Monty used last time to apply pressure to site, which means they're gonna have to walk down long haul and or hard breach into site. And with the head hold that they made on top of the Azami barricade from Karaoke, this top black push gets increasingly more difficult. It feels like defense has set up for this exact push because they know it was the only round that Muted has won, and that they would most likely try and repeat it.
Now, it is important to be said, reinforcing that wall is a double-edged sword because now it's incredibly difficult for the person in Karaoke to contest. And really, you just need that thermite to sprint right on across, and yep, here we go.
That's true.
The Ying Candela's going out.
Between the smokes and the Yin Candelas, this is a really good position for Thermite, and now Salt is in a very precarious situation. Still picks up one for somehow. Flam trades out onto Dynasty, and they are applying all this pressure onto.
Galt with a second.
Oh my god!
Will not pick up the Monty though. Still a very
3v3.
powerful position.
Yeah, 3v3. Monty's still up. He could probably get plant down, especially with Flam here holding the cross. Extreme just has to make sure that no one swings him from T/long haul, and this is doable.
I mean, those impacts won't be able to stop him. They don't know where that plant's going down, and that plant will go down. It's all down to Jay now to prevent this from going to the map 3. A beautiful, beautiful plant by Muted. They bounce back, it looks like, on their map pick. And it looks like Muted is going to say not done just yet. Down 6. Was it 6-4 at one point? Down 6-4 on this map at one point.
I mean, it was 5-1 at one point.
It was 5-1 at one point, and Kalam will finish that off. And we're going to map number 3.
That was an incredible game, and an outcome I did not see coming, I'll tell you right now. I wrote them off after the 5-1. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
I'm not ashamed to admit it either, but they bounce back. They will be going to map number 3. That's your scoreboard. Dynasty and Toxic finishes the top frags. Valam and Dilly and Rock. So now we're going on to map number 3, and we will see you guys in roughly, I don't know, 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Something like that. You're muted. I have no idea. All right, I need to. You're gonna see me check the map ban multiple times. All right, so muted is gonna start the attack. Right. Orange. Right. Whew. All right. Oh, I unmuted myself somehow. Hi, everyone. Pete, say hi.
Hello, welcome back.
We're back. We're back to map number 3, and we'll see if that break was long enough. Do you mind? Do I have time to restart game? Oh, damn it! All right, so we have to fill. We have to fill the air real quick, because someone did not take my 5-minute break to take a 5-minute break. So we're having
That is unfortunate.
having a quick restart of a game. Should be short. It's going to be Extreme who's doing the restart, so hopefully it works. Hopefully his frames are back, and hopefully he can be Extreme once again. So we're moving on to map 3. We are moving on to Cafe Dostoyevsky. We can go ahead and look at the map bans real quick. And it would appear that it is muted starting on attack and Soaker starting on defense. Interesting.
So muted on attack. That means that muted started on attack all 3 maps, which means
No,
that
they started defense on Oregon.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Okay, fair enough. But it was muted's choice of map last time, which means that Super Soakers chose defense for Skyscraper.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So now it's muted's turn for attack again, and we will.
Who the hell just joined? Stop it.
No, Hobbs, come back. We want you here. We want to join.
Yeah, what do you mean muted picks side? Yeah, muted pick side. They're starting attack. They picked the map. They were the last ban, so they banned Chalet, which means Cafe was the map. Since they technically picked the last map, so Greg gets to pick the starting side. That's how best of 3 works.
Yeah, why is Flom in chat? He's responding to people in chat right now.
What else are they gonna do?
I don't know, not stream snipe? How dare?
How are they stream sniping? The game hasn't started yet.
I'm sorry, they're VOD reviewing mid-match? Imagine they just like start from the beginning and start VOD reviewing the enemy team like on map 1 and 2.
Just speed VOD reviewing.
Exactly.
Oh, that'd be hell. All right, here's everything you did wrong. Go, 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 go. Fix. Right now.
That'd be really funny. I enjoy that.
I do hear Extreme in, so let me go ahead and swap over to the overlay. Ask them real quick. So, predictions. Who do you think wins the map? All right, we already got an R from Extreme.
I think I gotta stick with muted. They were kind of my first like assumption when the game started, and I'm not gonna lie, I lost faith in them a lot after the first half of the second game. But they came back, they came in strong, and I think that by the end of that second game, they're looking like they're on one, and the Super Soakers have cooled off a little too much. So hopefully Super Soakers can turn it around, new map, new team. But otherwise, Muted's going in with at least the emotional and mental momentum.
All right.
What about you?
The R from both teams.
Predictions?
My predictions. It's going to be really hard for Muted not to take their momentum into this map.
Completely agree.
That said, it's anyone's game. It's map 3. 1st to 7, or potentially 1st to 9. Let's go.
So we're on Cafe. Attacks. I'm assuming that there's probably going to be a Dokkaebi ban again. Otherwise, I would like to see maybe a I feel like it's going to be a Jackal ban. I'm hoping it's not. Maybe an Ace ban, but otherwise, I would like to see a Buck ban. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I definitely agree. I would like to see the Buck ban. I wouldn't mind a Sledge ban either. As we see Ace get banned once again, I don't mind the Ace ban. It's a weird.
That was the first suggestion I had. I think Ace is a good way to get Red Wall from Hatch without having to drop down like you do as a Thermite, and it's a lot faster than Habana, so makes sense. Warden, obviously, just the comfort. They don't have to deal with Warden players. That means that their flashes actually hit, their smokes are actually reliable, and you don't get a cracked player on MPX 1.5.
Yeah, hopefully, we do see Warden Panda once again.
It's either gonna be Valkyrie.
The thought process is that Toxic has had
Soulless. Interesting.
Toxic has had for him not a great series. He is negative, not terribly, but we're used to Toxic dropping double digits and carrying some rounds. Skyscraper, he was a little dormant. He did have that one really good round in defense, but not much besides. If Soakers are going to win, it can't just be Dynasty. Toxic needs to step up. Unmuted, Dillian, it goes through Dillian Falam. Rock, Papo, and Extreme need to play their support roles. See what happens.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that Dynasty is really carrying on Super Soakers right now, and he just needs the presence of his team to move up a little bit, match his pace and energy. If anyone can get close to where he's at, I think that Super Soakers easily takes this. Otherwise, like Muted's just making moves, and I'm really hoping that they can keep it going.
So
it looks like they're doing a Mira setup. They don't have a Mira though. So opening up the wall from Freezer into Christmas is I guess they can just reinforce one side. That's fair. That is a setup. I personally don't like setting it up like that, but I understand that a lot of people do. So that makes sense. I get it. Especially if they have a shield there, it can be really strong. They don't have shields though. They do have a zombie barricade.
They are doing... I guess it's technically not Chad's strat, because I think he and Spear came up together, but these zombie barricades are so incredibly strong and really.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Chad's strat is one on minibar, one on stage on the other wall. This feels like a different strat.
Oh, I think you're right. There's usually one on piano, isn't there?
Yeah, it's one on piano and one on minibar. And you kind of play between those. This is a setup like in the middle of like close to the clock.
Here we go. I mean, this is the map to decide if we have our first ever 2-time BroLeague champion, or if a bridesmaid becomes a bride in regards to rock and roll. The 2 team captains.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be exciting. Someone's going to be winning it that definitely deserves to win it. And I'm excited to see who.
We do see Rock on the... Oh, just slowly working his way up.
I think they're trying to get below so that they can nade out the Azami, because most likely they already saw the barricades. And that's why the Nook is working in below. One nade's already burned from Yana, looked like. I don't know where it went off or what they got.
Probably exactly what the plan is. He's waiting for some drones to go off, telling him where this Azami is.
Yeah, they know. Okay, so they're pinging the Azami barricade now. He's setting up the nade. This Azami is dead. There's no way that they survive this. He threw it too far to the left. He threw it under the stage. No.
Oh, will not matter. Chad will end up picking. Keep saying Chad. Balam will pick up the opening frag from Muted on this map and kill a zombie, but someone has taken her place, and they don't seem to be aware. Yep. They are aware now. Toxic has taken her place. Will pick up Dilly. Rock will pick up Dynasty.
Lengthy pre-fire.
Lengthy pre-fire. It is still a 3v4 advantage attackers, but they still have some power positions. Toxic is still in a very, very annoying position here by playing where he is. Can't really comfortably push into piano.
Definitely true. They only have 3 players, but all 3 of those players are in very important positions, and a lot of damage goes out onto Rock. This is still anyone's game, and I think that if Toxic can go big here, then it goes to defense. Otherwise, probably goes to attack.
Yeah, one big thing about attack right now is a little bit concerning for them is they really stalled out. They do not have as
They
much
have.
control as you think they would at this point in time.
20 seconds. It looks like they're rotating to a cocktail take, and they do get their initial pick. It just depends if they can convert it.
Rock will pick up Toxic, and now it's all down to Midnight.
Bappo has defuse, and he's by himself on the other side. So all he has to do, Midnight, is stop the plant. She's on the wrong side to be able to stop it, though. The shotgun is
She will down. She
not
downed Rock
leaked out.
there, I'm pretty sure.
She did. That's impressive.
Yeah, managed to pick up two, but I mean, that's probably the best attack we've seen from him so far.
If Toxic stayed in bathroom, he's able to deny default plant, and that's where Bappo took defuse right there at the end.
Yeah,
unfortunately, Toxic like swung into white to contest the people that were pushing up lumber, and just lost his fight. I don't disagree with it. I just think that, you know, because obviously he couldn't have known.
Yeah, well, think of it this way.
how the
If he
round
swings
lost.
white and picks up the kill onto Rock, that's huge. That
Yeah.
is a full momentum swinger. Bappo can no longer comfortably get that plant down. They lose control of white hallway, and it becomes just a free fight. But it looks like we're going to see it return to that top floor. I don't know if I agree with that. My main issue
Repeating the site, yeah.
I don't know if I agree, especially not with how important this map is. You need to just win rounds. You don't need to win sites, you need to win rounds. So if that ends up by going to kitchen, and then maybe even going to a tertiary site, I don't know if you want to get stubborn and afford and risk losing two rounds on one site.
Maybe I'm weird about this. I actually feel like Fireplace and Reading specifically is probably the best site on this map. People just don't know how to play it, right? But if you're in a fairly coordinated 5-stack, or at least in a 5-stack at all, there's a good chance that you can play it better than a team that isn't comfortable attacking it. So I think that like you should almost always play Reading, if not start Reading. Because attack is tried and true, but it's also practiced a lot on how to attack it, and it's very stale, right? Basically, everyone attacks it the same. You only have your 2 attacks. Reading it, on the other hand, it's still flexible. A lot of people, you know, change their strategy on it.
So we do see the adjustment here of Dynasty now being underneath to attempt to prevent these nades from below. We'll pick up a drone. It looks like he'll just scamper on the way. He's looking to contest. I don't think he's looking to really take gunfights.
Setting up my
Definitely agree. He's getting pushed out from both bottom white and mining, though. So he's either going to have to take a gunfight one side or the other, or he's going to try and camp out here and hide. I don't exactly agree with this because he doesn't have the utility to be able to fall out. He doesn't have impacts. And so he's just committing himself. If he gets droned out here, he's kind of screwed.
I think the big thing here is what I don't like is no one's on that cam to watch this hallway for him. I mean, I get it. You might not have the option to, but you have some players. You have at least 2 players who could, as Toxic and Balam trade. And Dynasty manages to pick up 1 on Extreme. Won't pick up a second, though, as Rock
Unfortunate. Didn't expect him.
did not expect him. Gets caught sprinting, and now all of a sudden it is a 3v3. Jay is still up. Azami's still up, generating those keeper barriers. And the hard breach, no, the hard breach is actually still up as well, as Bappo is still kicking. You do wonder what the plan is for Muted now, though. Salt and Midnight both still alive on site. Jay is still alive in ticket.
Whatever the plan is, attack needs to start moving because they have a minute left and they haven't opened up red wall. They haven't gotten on cocktail repel, and they have like below control, but they don't have the Sazami droned out to a point that he can be naded. Hopefully he should be at that point now, but it doesn't look like the nades are there to follow through with it. So
they spotted him. You can hear those pings. That drone knows exactly.
He came back with the nades, but he has moved. Hopefully they're able to keep track of him.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't kill him?
You're kidding.
That's crazy.
Again. I obviously can't speak for where it was because I was watching the Azami's perspective, but that felt like it was about as perfect as it could get.
I mean, to be fair, they got the kill anyway, but yeah, that felt like it should have killed him on the nade alone. It looks very good for Muted right now. They're in the 3v2. Both Midnight and Salt are kind of in awkward positions, trapped in Cocktail and Freezer. It just depends if they can get to site on time, because right now they're in a time crunch.
We'll pick up the second. Salt
isn't aware of the other one in the corner.
Oh.
How does she lose?
Don't know, but Salt's
Very
Salt
nice.
managed just to win the round effectively single-handedly for his team. Picks up 2 huge kills. The third was really just for fun. The third
Yeah, I
was
feel
for
like
sport.
the time pressure just got to them, right? They didn't have red wall open. They didn't have the drones in there to get the nades for a zombie. And once they finally did, they were down to like 20 seconds. That means they had to run up white. They didn't have time to clear it. Sorry, I forget who it was, but he didn't have time to check his close angle for the shotgun there. And he won the fight anyway. But if they had a little bit more time and were able to take those fights a little bit slower, I think they win it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in that situation, you feel that time crunch. Rock does this. They do that really well, to be honest. They put from 2 different sides. Rock as the Nook is pushing up white to apply pressure from that side. It effectively isolates and makes it 2v1 on Salt, and Salt just wins.
Need to locate and defuse
Yeah.
as many bombs
Salt
as they can.
just with a gun that shoots as fast. Is the Vector the fastest shooting gun in the game? Or is the F2?
It should be the SMG-12 is the fastest gun in the game.
Oh, right. Just I can't control the SMG-12. So I don't think this is it.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the LS Scorpion's faster than the F2.
Oh,
So,
I think the LS Scorpion
that's also
might be.
there.
I think the LS Scorpion is the SMG-12.
And also the Vector is 1200, if I'm not mistaken. So that one's even faster than the SMG-11.
Maybe.
But yeah, anyway. We've gotten very far off topic.
A little bit. We do see this Goyo once again. I do really love seeing Goyo. He's one of my personal favorite operators, especially trying to place this floor on these attacks.
Is he running the 1.5 on Goyo?
No,
Because I don't know what it is. I cannot run the 1.5 on Goyo.
I can't either.
It's so uncomfortable.
Do we have any roamers? It does not look like we have any roamers inside of Jay. So Jay is the Mozzie, but looks like he's going to fall back. Toxic's on the first floor, Midnight's on the first floor, Dynasty's on the first floor, Jay's on the first floor, Salt. We'll see how fast Muted drones this out, and it looks like they're moving pretty quickly now that they understand.
They did bring the Jackal, so they should be able to clear it insanely fast. All they're doing is just looking for footsteps on stairs.
Yep, Dilly is the slits. They do have 2 different soft breaches. I don't think anyone is going to contest these top floors. It looks like they're content with just letting the attackers come to them. On Kitchen, you might be able to get away with that if you bunker and play it, I wouldn't say perfectly, pretty damn close to perfect.
I completely agree.
You might be able to get away with it, but you have to hope that the attack takes a while to clear. And it looks like the attack is taking a decent amount of time.
Yeah, they're being extra careful, it looks like. Even with the Jackal, you know, they're taking their time. But with a minute 40 starting vertical, that's still very fast for Cafe, right? Usually it's like a minute a level, you know. And so them having that extra 30, 40 seconds already trying to get eyes on first floor, a very good start for them.
Too, is that they don't have the rotate behind Fake, and that's a C4 gone that does not net a kill, doesn't even net a point of damage yet. And they're just going to continue working on opening up this whole area. Salt is really the only person who's able to contest this. If they go for a plant, never mind. Midnight is also there. They're going to get white open. There's really nothing that's going to stop them. Billy sees Toxic. They'll trade some shots, but neither will land.
Good news for Super Soakers right now is that the vast majority of their players are off-site and they're all in power positions, right? Unfortunately, they don't have anyone in VIP, which would be the person that's, you know, holding for that freezer push, but they should be able to rotate fairly quickly, especially with this Mozzie and Kochek. And so as long as Midnight doesn't die here to the Thermite, then they're still in a very good position to contest this.
Yep, I mean, their win condition right now has gotten a lot dicier. I was about to say their win condition is, as long as that Goyo behind the B bomb chassis is still up come the 20-second mark, that's their win condition. And it's still up.
Yeah, it's looking a lot less good for them though. 20 seconds left. Dynasty didn't see him, but he does swing back, get the kill. Dynasty and Midnight in 2v4. She is fired off. She's not going to be able to get out of that little bunker though. Dynasty picks up another one. Bappo's going to go for the defuse on Sync. Falam doesn't know where to cover from, and they are going to get plant down. Midnight is down, and out of nowhere, Dynasty is in the 1v2. This is very winnable from him, though, as he... Oh, unfortunate. As I say that, Rock takes out Dynasty and gets the 2-piece to close it out.
Really solid execute from the side of Muted. And the way they reacted to that Goyo, I was talking. The reason why I consider that Goyo canister to be that win condition is because 20 seconds, it lasts 20 seconds. You can't plant behind the safe place, which is that bomb chassis.
Mm-hmm.
Boppo realizes that, vaults over, plants in his smoke behind sinks, cannot be contested.
I
They get the
wonder.
plant down.
I didn't check. Did Midnight have her C4 there at the end when she was prone in bunker and they couldn't shoot her because they hadn't walked in freezer yet?
I don't know. I don't think even if she did, that she had an angle to throw.
Defenders, protect your bomb.
So I know you can throw it from bunker over top of the bomb chassis onto the counter of sinks, and it will kill anyone that's planting.
Yeah, but that's a difficult throw, and I think she was surrounded by fire on both sides because I think there was a
That's fair.
Goyo canister here that got popped, so she physically could not.
That's fair. Yeah, because especially like having to throw it from prone, it's tough. And you have to be in a very good like position for it. But yeah, it's unfortunate for sure. Also, I'm checking in the Twitch VOD right now. She did not have her C4. It was already burned, so it didn't even matter.
Alright. One thing I do really hope I see them change is I really hope I see a rotate from Bakery back into sight. Come on, let me see it, let me see it, let me see it. Yes, okay, I love that because now you can afford to have those players in Bakery and they're not funneled into prep and small bake.
Yeah, that was their mistake last time because they expected top control to be lost, and so they played in bake, which is smart, right? That's exactly what you're supposed to do. But it meant that when they were trying to retake, they had to funnel either through prep, which had eyes above, or they had to try and walk up long haul, which did not work well for them. Toxic takes a lot of damage from upside down repel on white stairs. I believe that was from Falam. And Dynasty is taken out by Dilly. Muted is doing a great start to this round for sure because that's both their roamers either dead or heavily damaged.
What the hell? Oh my goodness.
That was from Hatch. He shot him through the stairs angle.
That
Is unfortunate.
That's a tip of the cap to you, sir.
Most likely Thorn was contesting it with the 1.5 because it's really hard to land that shot. They're just running past. Like, you kind of have to be far back on the stairs and looking up, like trying to contest that angle.
Yep, they know where this
But
vigil
well
is
done.
now. They know where the vigil is. They know that they've effectively pushed him out. They're probably just going to clear him out very, very safely right now, and that looks exactly what they're doing. They know now that he's not in that washing machine dryer area, whatever the hell it's called.
They also have his feet and a jackal, so
I want this to kill someone.
That's unfortunate.
Waiting. Where's he putting
You gotta put those fuse charges like along the lanes in kitchen. If you put them diagonally like that, they bounce weird.
Yeah. He does not get someone with that one either. He still has two. I just want a fuse kill. That's all I want for Christmas.
Right?
So far, nothing. They are getting catch open. I mean, this is still like a minute. They have a minute left. They've got the opening pick. They've forced everyone back to site. There's no C4s actually. Now that I look.
Yeah, zero C4s. This is going to be a really tough round for Super Soakers to win. With how much of the like top is open, they're forced into playing like those offsite positions, and because they don't have any ADSs to stop like this flashbang, for example, they're probably going to be able to push in, clear out site, and get plant down. But Salt goes aggressive, takes one on Dilly. I think that was up top actually, and that's very impressive. It looks like they're probably going to be getting freezer wall or freezer drop here soon. With 20 seconds left, they need to get down. Like they need to be on level 1 and pushing into site.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and they really don't have the opening picks to get this.
There's the hatch drop. I'm not sure if they're aware of this. No, they're definitely aware of this. Rock's going to have to push out through the smoke. We get a couple of downs happening on Jay as well as the other person, Assault. Is now just Toxic in the 1v3. Even with the impact, it's too late, doesn't make it.
I understand you throw the impact there because you don't know where the planter is. I think he actually downs Boppo, so if he does not die instantly, he has a chance to win that. Just sadly, the cover from Rock is strong, and Muta takes a commanding 3-1 lead.
I mean, think if the impact hits directly and does 60 damage, then Therm goes down, and with like, what, 4 seconds on the clock? It would be tough to rotate someone in there to take his position. I think that it was possible he wins.
Wow.
timeout by Super
We're already
Soakers.
seeing Super Soakers timeout, and I mean, realistically, they're on the back foot.
They really are.
Their defenses have just been picked apart by Muted. The only win so far they have on defense came because Salt got a 3K in the last 20 seconds of a round.
Yeah,
Oh, that's...
Oh, no, that's rough. That did not feel like friendly banter. Unfortunate.
I'm gonna go ahead and just type that as a warning.
That's what feels bad. But yeah, no, it's for sure one of those things where Muted's coming in with a lot of like mental momentum. You know, they're feeling really good about themselves, as you can tell from the chat here. And they're confident, right? Super Soakers has lost a lot of that. It feels like, you know, they're tired, they're exhausted. They put a lot of effort into those first two maps. The second map didn't pay off the way that they wanted to, and now they're trying to, you know, keep going even though their tank is empty. And that's what it feels like. So unless they're able to recharge here and put a good foot forward on the second half, like as it is, they've already lost the first half, being on cafe and being defense. So they have to recharge. I mean, that's fair. But they need to focus on like fixing and resetting whatever it is going on with them. Get back to how they were playing in the first map, because their first map was dominant. It was probably the best we've ever seen them play.
I mean, right now, Muted are in their element. Cafe, I don't have the stats in front of me. I'm sure Dynamite, the nerd he is, does. I think Cafe is one of Muted's stronger maps. I do not believe they have lost it this entire playoffs. And, I mean, it's looking like they're going to continue that streak, at least so far. Toxic almost taken out so early. He's trying to get aggressive, and he's trying to take some opening engagements. He wants this gunfight with this Lion. I'll just stare at one another real quick. He's kind of already been successfully pinched out if they drone him and they want to clear him. We'll see what happens here. He's the only roamer that Soakers have. Midnight is playing Velk, but is sticking close to sight. And it looks like, honestly, they're just going to leave Toxic where he is. Don't feel like he's worth wasting the utility to clear out. Makes a little bit of sense. It is a Vigil. Salt is coming down to support Toxic. Shoots the drone waiting down
Yeah,
there.
I like this play with Salt. I think, you know, when one of your roamers gets droned out and they're choosing not to fall off, then you should come down support. But as soon as you realize that, you know, the attack isn't going to chase you, just go back up, reset, and that looks exactly like what they're going to do. They're able to hold the new Balk drop for now, and looks like maybe pre-place C4. Oh, actually, Good has bulletproof. Interesting. Oh, actually, he doesn't even have C4 anymore at all. So Toxic is holding the rat angle from Pillar up through New Hatch, and attack seems very slow on this. They haven't even dropped for the most part, as most people are still on the roof. A minute and a half in, looks like they're just trying to get some info, maybe some picks, and that's where they're sitting currently.
Yeah, I mean, no opening picks, no real map control taken. And the question is, what are they doing? There we go. We have our first member of Muted that has entered the building. Actually, two now.
Oh, that rotate looks bugged. They weren't able to get through top red. Jay gets the first pick on the Flam, and that's a huge pick for them. That's Zof off the board, and they don't have any shields, actually, so it doesn't matter as much, but still an important operator off the board.
It's big because of the control that gains them. It basically lets them walk back down White Hallway freely. I mean, this is just constant pings on this cam. You'd think eventually you'd get pre-fired. It doesn't look like anyone's willing to swing it.
So one person's Heaven. I assume that Heaven's going to swing in. They have the person Nubauk. Nubauk looks like they're in a terrible situation. Salt ends up picking that kill from Pillars, and it is a Super Soakers round if I've ever seen one. To a 5v2. Oh, coming back.
Walk down White
Not
Wall
quite.
And picks up Toxic. That's gotta be a... the call on that voice comms is probably like, what the hell?
Right? How did he walk up?
Yeah.
It's all down to Bappo in the 1v4. A couple of flashbangs in the pocket, but it's not going to be enough with 1 second. Time runs out, and no kills to end the round.
Now we are going to be moving on then to the next round. Muted is still sitting pretty with their 3 rounds, but Soakers could make a little bit of a comeback. Maybe, you know, maybe.
I agree. I think, unfortunately, Soakers is going to be forced into going back downstairs, which is a site that they lost twice. So
That's
unless
what you
they're
think,
going,
buddy. Look where they're going.
oh, they are going fireplace. Perfect. As I was telling you earlier, I think reading is the best side on the map. So I'm really hoping that they're able to pull this one out. Hopefully they have a bit of a strat for it and they're not just going in blind. Doesn't look like they're bringing the mirror though, which is a little concerning if you ask me. And
Attackers, protect your bombs from
otherwise, I think this is winnable. They can at least go in with 3-3 split, and that's not bad for them.
No, it isn't.
Not great,
Well,
but not
I
bad.
mean, the big thing with the 3-3 split would be that they will have won 2 rounds in a row at that point, which is big from a momentum perspective.
Yeah, because they haven't won 2 rounds in a row since about 10 rounds ago. No,
They haven't won 2
12
rounds
rounds
in a
ago.
They haven't won 2 rounds in a row since their defense on.
Since they were 5-1, yeah, so 12 rounds ago.
But that really hurts when you say it out loud. Actually,
It's not great. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little mean on my part, but it is facts.
right now, Muted though, they really want to close out this attacking half on a good note, and that good note would be, go into your defenses being up 4-2. Go into your defenses with a lead on Cafe.
That would be a great feeling for them. Toxic messes up the rotate and has to run all the way back. He's running up red. That's interesting because they barricaded it off. So he's going to have to break a barricade.
They
But
don't have
all
a
good.
rotate here on Freezer. They don't
So
have
Toxic
that-
is ratting behind displays. I hope you can see that. He is hiding behind displays. He's going to be activating his Vigil ability to not get seen by a drone. But honestly, at this position, you don't really want to... Oh, they spotted him.
Yeah.
He realized, yeah, he's just running back. Hopefully he doesn't get shot from Skylight.
No
There you
one's
go.
on Skylight to watch his run back. Makes sense. It's too risky of a position, really, to be playing Skylight and contesting actively. Oh, you know what probably was? He probably did have his Vigil gadget on. They probably spotted him using the IQ. I think they're trying to
That's fair.
bait out this pulse run out.
Looks like it. The window's prepped. You saw the way that the pulse like was moving around it, so it doesn't look like he's going to take the bait. He's falling back. But with this IQ, they have a lot of information on not only pulse and Vigil, but the other two of the other 3 ops are traps, and so they're going to have very little effect as well. So that's a great counter.
A minute 30, and once again, Muted struggling to get in the building, it looks like. Pulse is underneath. Pulse is aware that there's going to be someone on this window. Dynasty taking a decent chunk of damage. Don't know what from. Maybe a fuse.
Fuse charge. I'm pretty sure it was fuse charge.
That had to be what it was. Dynasty's just going to get out of cocktail now. Buck, it looks like, is above. They have not cleared this Vigil.
So realistically, with a minute left, they could choose to fall back, just leaving Toxic up here to sort of, bait and rat. But they get the pick anyway, and it looks like they're sticking around. They're planning on, on staying here. And with the 5v3, this is looking very good for Super Soakers.
Extreme just is not able to pick up Toxic. Boppo will be downed on that IQ, so all of a sudden this is looking very, very doable for them.
Ooh, just the timing on that buck.
They want to get this player out of Freezer, and it looks like Billy's going to be over here to help. They know he's stuck in there.
Vigil's pinched and gone. But unfortunately, they only have 20 seconds left, so now it's a time crunch, right? They have a... Oh, alright, never mind. It's basically over. Yep, over. Super Soakers takes the round.
Dynasty and Toxic managed to blunt the attack upstairs. Really strong play from them both. Really strong gun skill from them both.
That was just a duo hold. The rest of the map didn't even matter. Just both of them went off in their own ways, taking their ones and winning all of them. And that is like you said, the first 2 rounds that Super Soakers has won in a row in quite some time. That gives me hope, but it still is a 3-3 on their defensive half.
Mm-hmm. See though what happens on these defenses, because keep in mind, Muted is on the stronger side now.
Attackers
Yeah,
need to locate
definitely.
and defuse bombs.
And Muted just got done dominating their defenses on Skyscraper.
They're feeling their defenses, that's for sure.
See? But hey, we are down to the... I mean,
I would
this
I
could
would
be
like
the
to point out
last
the
side stop.
Clash pick from Dilly.
Don't hate it.
I think he's gonna be playing in Bakery. I actually really like the Clash play in Bakery. I think it's a very good pick. If they're doing a top-down clear, it's a little less effective. But I feel like if they do, what you have to do is set up a VIP hold, put the Clash in there with someone else in like Christmas area of the bottom floor, and then you can prevent the like white side entry on Freezer. And so I feel like it's very strong.
But here we go. Guarding of Super Soaker's attacks. They do have a lot of Oh, Jay taking a lot of early damage.
There's a run out somewhere.
Is it a run out?
I think
You
so.
know what I bet it was? I bet Dilly had that window punch and he was just being a little gremlin.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was. Look at the breaks in the bottom right-hand corner there.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Doing a lot of damage early to the Thermite especially is going to freak. The worst thing for a support to do, or to have, is get that early engagement and shake them. Because they know how important it is, especially for Thermite, to stay alive. Because if you've noticed, no one else on his team has the ability to get any hatches or any walls open.
Yep,
That
it's
are
just him.
It is just him. If he had died early there, that would have been the round over already. It does have a drone right here, bottom of round. It looks like Dynasty is going to be the primary entry this time around on this map. Just all the way down white. Toxic's just going to jump in over by Cigar. Oh, no, that's not Cigar.
See, this is the issue with not having anyone in VIP or Christmas, or Whiskey even, is that they get most of this side of the map control for free, and it makes it really tough to play in Coat Closet if you don't have support on this side of the map.
They do have two roamers up top, and what Toxic has effectively done is he's just cut them off from sight. Toxic now has a decent amount of control, but it's a minute 30, and they haven't cleared out really any of the roamers right now. Bullets will take Dynasty. As important as that ground that Coyote took was, not having him to help the entry, he's had to give up the territory anyway, and now he's going to be first pick. I don't mind the entry idea. I do dislike when it looks like no one is there to help him follow up.
I agree.
Will be picked up by Rock,
Especially because he's one of the
Oh,
okay, Dynasty and Midnight both taking out both taking out one to make it a 3v3. Numbers are evened up again. Health advantage in favor of Muted, but they also have a cap can that hopefully can do a little bit more damage and maybe get one on the enemy team.
You know what is big though with all that low health?
Clash.
Clash.
I do think that not having a gun up in a 3v3 is a little bit worse for them, especially when they do have a Zoe, but it being low health for the attack already, and they're using it to convert. This Clash is working very well for them, actually.
Yep. I mean, now you have to deal with this Clash, and there's really no way for you to. Because the first attack is going to be blunted. Because that Clash, I mean, your Thermite is at such low health at this point, you can't, that Clash will just kill him easily. Clash will swap over and take out Midnight. Extreme will take out Jay, and the first round of the defense goes to Muted.
Well done.
Well done by them. That roam game was incredibly strong.
It really was. Muted, as we said at the beginning of the round, they were feeling their defense's last map. It looks like they're doing the same this map. Their roam was coordinated. Their people on site looked coordinated. The attack didn't get the vertical control that they wanted in time to be able to do anything with it. And even though they gave up a white side of the map, they didn't lose anything from it because Freezer never got breached, and they did a lot of damage to Thermite right off the bat, which put him in a really bad position from the start, and they just kept it that way. Overall, Muted played that beautifully, wonderfully, loved it.
Muted played that very well. So Super Soakers, they had a really good strong entry. Dynasty was able to take control of ground, but it, I don't know. I just, 4 players were doing a top down and 1 player wasn't. And I don't know if that was the plan, or just a little bit of miscommunication. Maybe originally they planned on doing a top down, someone called something and only one of them reacted. acted, but who knows? I'll
Personally, I don't hate it. I think Coyote going in below to cut off the rotates in case someone runs down brown or red to get back to site while someone's clearing. I think that's a fairly good play. As long as he's safe and he's running his way through, I don't hate it. Where I do think the issue is that he shouldn't have been Ash on that position, right? He should have been like a Nomad or someone that could protect himself a little bit better. Actually, no, not a Nomad because they would need it. But the point is, I feel like Ash would have been better on the actual like entry side, entry team, and use just a different operator for it. That's about it.
Right now, Super Soakers really want to win this round because otherwise Muted has the chance to just run away on this defending side. And here's that mirror setup. It's so strong when played well, and it looks like it is going to be played well. Or at least, set up correctly. Not a lot of util to get rid of them, too. You only really have the 2 nades on the sledge to deal with them. Toxic's hard to pick up.
And they also don't have any ranged hard breach. They have no Habana, they have no Ace. Nothing that can throw or be shot long range to get rid of those walls.
Right now, minute. No one's taking control of anything just yet. The C4 has been wasted, it looks like, by the pulse. I think he thought that Toxic was just standing a little closer than he was. Maybe hoping the shrapnel system would do what it always does and never work properly.
Based on the angle of the holes in the floor, it looked like he was trying to do the setup where you shoot, like you throw the C4 through the hole and it goes out into Cigar, and it probably just got stuck on the floor itself.
That's 1 nade gone so far. Toxic will try to take some fight with the pulse. It takes a bit of damage itself.
That hatch is soft and the pulse is sitting below it. That is really dangerous for the pulse. And should probably fall back. But Jay gets picked from Rock.
I don't know why the hatch is still remaining closed, actually. There we go. So finally opened it. Because now that pulse can't move about as well as he wants to. We'll contest, but Bappa will take the head off of Toxic. Looking very strong from them. Dynasty finally gets rid of that mirror window.
The duo is going crazy right now.
Yeah. It might just be a little too late at this point. You've lost basically your entire entry top floor. Everyone else... Oh, Midnight is actually still up there.
Yeah, but they... So Midnight has
in, and Rock picks up the kill. Don't think that was the right idea. Midnight will end up picking up Dilly. That's big. Needs to get another kill here before they feel comfortable, but I feel like at this point, Muted is just in too strong of a position. Oh. There we go.
Ooh, well done with the pocket shotty.
With the pocket Scotty. Muted are up 5-3. Just need 2 more rounds.
I really like Muted's defenses here. I feel like they aren't exactly the most structured in any means, but they are flowing well together, if that makes sense. Like having the pulse underneath, relaying the information, and getting the cutoffs to make sure they don't just push into Christmas. Working with the people that are up top as your roamers is really effective because he's giving the information and the pings that are allowing them to get those picks. I really like their defense, how it was working, and it seems like they're communicating well together. They also had a better strat than Super Soakers did with having the Mira and the Castle working together to hold that top floor control, where, I pointed out on Super Soakers' reading defense, they didn't have that Mira. They didn't have the Castle or anything. They simply relied on Toxic and Dynasty to individually pop off and go huge.
I mean, that could be... It's kind of the way that these two teams' playstyles have gone, right? Super Soakers relies very heavily on aggressive, winning their gunfights, taking those gunfights, and it's worked. I mean, obviously, they're second. At worst, they will be second place for the season Pro League. The problem
that's very true, yeah.
When you go up against a team like Muted, especially the longer you let Muted stick around and get used to that playstyle and understand what you want to do. And Muted's playstyle themselves is one that's heavily strat-oriented, heavily communication-oriented. But they obviously, they can still brag out. I mean, to be fair, we got Rock having the game of his... Rock does not want to finish second place again, I'll tell you that. Rock understands...
Rock is determined.
Yeah, Rock understands damn well what's at stake here. Right now we do see... already almost. It does feel like the Soakers are missing that bit of confidence that they've had on their attacks. They don't seem to be taking ground very quickly.
Like I said, I feel like they cooled off. They got a little too overconfident in themselves in the second map, and then they never really recovered. They lost the fire in them that, like, you know, we need to win this, we need to do everything, and they started taking it too chill too long.
We do see that Balam setup that we talked about. It's incredibly powerful in this situation, especially with the Renegades and Castle Barricades playing in conjunction.
Definitely agree. As you can see, this is a different setup than the Super Soakers were doing, as this one is on minibar and on the other side of stage, as I pointed out earlier.
1 minute and 42 seconds left, and no real ground has been taken. And that's an opening pick once again. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Muted has gotten every single opening pick on their defenses right now in Cafe.
Across the 3 defense, yes. Yeah, I'm nearly certain that's correct.
What is that? Oh, Midnight, we'll see. Well, they know where Midnight is. The question is,
She's trying to figure out what that floating thing is on her screen, I think.
Boppo gets taken down, Dilly takes down Salt, Dilly takes down Jay, and all this stuff is Toxic. He will pick up Dilly, won't pick up the second. And we are on map and series and BroLeague Championship point.
Oh, I am so proud of Muted right now. I think neither one of us saw this coming, you know, halfway through that second map or even after the first map. You know, I didn't think I would be at this point in the 3 map series that we've had, but they've made a comeback that's incredible. Like, frankly, beautiful to watch, and I'm proud of them. Good job, Muted. Even if they don't win this, I think it's something to be proud of.
Absolutely think it is. They showed a lot of resilience and bounced back. And Super Soakers as well, you know, tip of the cap to them. Should they fall here, I mean, they were the 4 seed. They were a 4 seed. They battled through the plan, managed to get here.
Attackers need to locate and defend.
Yeah, like I'm sure it's gonna sting a lot if they lose, knowing that, you know, they had the 5-1 lead and the map advantage. But at the end of the day, just the fact that you made it to the grand finals, incredible. And it's not over yet. Like, they can still win this.
As someone who's I'm in second place, I'm sure everyone remembers my. Actually, to be fair, my second place was arguably more painful because I got sick. No.
Oof, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It definitely does not feel like it's a good thing in the moment, but after the fact, when you realize, you know what, we played well. We were the second best team. You know what? We just happened to be one team that played a little bit better today.
Yeah. And, you know, you can always be supportive of your fellow players, even when you're the one that's losing that day.
Oh, and Boppo gets taken out by Midnight. Gets a little. I'm really worried. I do not want Muted to make a mistake and get over aggressive and get cocky here. Yeah, you got 3 rounds effectively to mess around with. You can afford. You only need to win 1. Don't make it come down to the last round of regulation.
Right.
Right now, Toxic is clearly a little angry because he's already in. What is that, reception? Yes, reception. He's already in reception. They've taken control of it. But despite that opening pick, they've slowed down a little bit. Getting that clash in. That nade will not do any damage effectively to that clash. We're right here. Someone playing, it will be the Thorn playing all the way over on their Christmas.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, the clash setting up to work with the VIP player. That was almost the kill. That was really cool to watch. But yeah, the attack's gonna have to push into some really tough angles to win here, especially with that clash in play.
And then that's the equalizer right there. Rockman just picked up the equalizer, really pick up a second, and then Balam picks up another. Dynasty very low health now as well. Looks like he walked through a cap can trap. And all of a sudden, a round that started off with an opening pick, you get a little stubborn with wanting to push through reception and coach check, and all of a sudden, you're in a really bad position. You're in an awful position now. Balam does get picked up, but Clash will secure the kill.
And Muted making the comeback of BroLeague history. They're in the 3v2, about to lock it out.
Look how low these healths are. Clash could individually kill either of these players without too much difficulty. I don't want to see that. I feel like Muted wants to see
I
it.
really hope that that's how it ends. I'm not gonna lie. I really want to see it.
I don't.
This will be a beautiful way for BroLeague Season 4 to end if both people die to the electricity of Clash.
With 50 seconds. The chance to be the Season 4 champions of BroLeague. Muted just needs to hold their angles. They will have done it. First seed of their division. All they need to do is wait 30 more seconds. Soakers wants desperately to try and make something happen. Dynasty will push up. We'll get caught from behind. It's all down to Jay.
3v1. They may be
Yes.
muted, but they will not be silenced, as these are approaching the Season 4 victory
and it
with the
ends
electricity to end it.
Flash kill, and that's GG's in the chat. For everyone in Twitch, everyone in the Discord, congratulate your Season 4 BroLeague champions. Muted.
Whew. That was a hell of a series.
And the captain takes MVP on the very last map.
Beautiful.
I mean, just, well, what a game. What a night, really. What a series.
Honestly.
Before
From
we go-
beginning to end.
Yeah. Before we go any further, before we talk about anything else, before we dive into the game, props to every single team in BroLeague. Not just these two, but every single team that played this season and every single player that played this season. We had an amazing season, one of the closest we've ever had in BroLeague history. We as mods, we as casters have been very proud, very happy to see the community grow, and I believe it has shown through with how competitive these games have been. This has been a hell of a playoffs, this has been a hell of a final, and we are so happy and so proud of each and every one of you, and we want to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for making this happen. That said, all the soapy sentimental stuff out of the way. I'm sure Muted will be very happy to have their brand new little tag attached to their names. But yeah, we have a new champion. Congratulations to all teams involved. Congratulations to Muted.
Congratulations, I think, is definitely in order. I don't think you could have put it any better. Congratulations to everyone. And we did have a fantastic season. I think it was beautiful and wonderful to be there, to witness it, to play in it. And there's not much more to be said.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It was a great finale. I am so tired.
Are we doing any interviews, or is it over?
We don't do interviews anymore. We might do it next season, but we don't do interviews anymore.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, well, on behalf of BroLeague and all of the casters, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good night.
Everyone have a good night.